there as well. So it's going to be a bit of a preview.
It's a great first look, but also, you know, $1,000 on the line. This is a very, very big tournament. So we'll see how these guys come out and show up today. $1,000 on the line. They got to come ready to play.
Yep, absolutely. And here we go. It's game number 1 between the Hammers and Equinox. Corrupted G, Sat Jr., Chrome on blue for Equinox, and Darkfire, Sathiel, and Vince on orange for the Hammers. And right off the bat, nice ball there from Darkfire, pushes it up forward into the corner. Corrupted G is going to go back and pick that up for himself. Going to get it past one, can get it past Sathiel as well, but gives up possession. And that means that the Hammers will potentially get that ball. No, it gets missed, actually, on the blue half of the field. Chrome is waiting on the wall for that one. Doesn't quite get it. Darkfire able to clear it. Sad Jr. bumps Vince out of the way. That's the opportunity of Corrupted G to put it against the backboard. Can he double tap it? Yes, he can. Fantastic bump leads to the first goal for Equinox.
And you spotted it out. Sad Jr. bumped Vince to Kingdom Come there. And then Corrupted G, making it look easy. Textbook double tap play off the backboard. Well done by Corrupted G. One of the greatest shooters that we see in Rocket League. He carried his team last season on the scoring front. See if he can do it again on Equinox here in this tournament.
Absolutely. Fantastic start. That is to be said after this great goal. Another demolition right off the bat. Corrupted G goes for the shot, misses it by a few inches. Might get another good position here. Loses the ball in the corner. Chrome playing it back up in front. Misses the wall hit. There's Chrome, gets the hit on the ball. Ball is still up front, but Equinox, they have already retreated back home. Now we're going to see what the Hammers have in store for us. They do lose possession immediately. Chrome's going to go for the aerial. Sad Jr. going up for that. Trying to pick the ball up, but ultimately they end up bumping into each other, and that gives possession back over to the Hammers. Now they're going to have to play themselves into a good position here. Good block by Darkfire right in front of the net. Nobody there to follow things up.
One thing I want to highlight as well, before when I watched the Hammers play, Sathiel did a fantastic job on defense and passing, but he was really lacking in the shooting department, being accurate when he had a pretty routine shot. So we'll see if Sathiel can pull that accuracy together, because all other facets of the game are so impressive.
Sad Jr. being very aggressive there. Darkfire had to get that hit, and he did ultimately. Tries to apply some pressure, but Sad Jr. doing a good job at snatching the ball off of him. The Hammers are showing some offensive efforts, but so far Equinox has been very, very well at doling those out, at stopping these before they get too dangerous, and starting very fast counter-offensive measures as Corrupted G puts the ball back in front of the net. Bump! Self-team bump on the side of the Hammers. Bit of a cluster on the goal line of the Hammers there. Chrome, no problem clearing that one away, and Sad Jr. is going to clear it off into the orange half of the field. You see the ball bounce off of the corner. Vince going to have to get this cleared. Demolition. Corrupted G takes down Darkfire, but they won't be able to make anything out of this quickly enough. Corrupted G with a fantastic pickup on that pass. And Sad Jr. puts it in.
That was a sick shot by Sad. Look at this. He has to put his car backwards there and gets it right over the defender. Sad Jr. going for it all. Only had about 9 boosts left after that shot. And now a 2-goal lead for Equinox. They only have 2 shots. They're shooting 100% right now, but really nothing going for the Hammers on offense.
Striking surgically like a thumbtack. Fantastic play so far from Equinox. The Hammers going to have to show something for themselves very, very soon. Vince overcoming on that ball. Sad Jr. manages to get it over him, but good clear straight from Hammers. Prevents the counter opportunity for Equinox. And I think they are a bit too liberal on ball possession right now, or as far as giving it up goes. The Hammers, I think they're having trouble passing the ball to each other, and we have seen them bump into each other multiple times already. This is a dangerous situation right in front of the goal, but Chrome able to play that off into the corner just in time.
The Hammers still continue to struggle. Darkfire really the only one doing anything at this point. He has 3 shots, and then it's zeros across the board for Vince and Sathiel. Darkfire, another great scorer historically, but Vince also has that carry potential. But right now, Hollywood Hammers are looking flat.
Certainly are. Pushed back into their own half right now by Equinox, who are still putting up a fantastic offense. Darkfire going to try to pass it over to Sathiel. Does a good job, leaves it over for Vince. They're going to go for the ping-pong pass, but that gets intercepted by Chrome. Way too slow on that play. Oh, Sad Jr. bumps Chrome out of the way. And that's the end of that offense.
Yeah, that was one of those situations where Sad Jr. had one idea, but he never told Chrome about it. And Chrome just ends up getting bumped by him.
This might be a chance for Sad Jr. Put it off of the backboard. He does. Corrupted G is going to go for the shot, but Darkfire snatches it away from him, and that's an empty net in front of Equinox's goal line. And Darkfire makes use of it.
Yeah, questionable decision here by Corrupted G. He had hardly any boost. Darkfire was in a better position. Corrupted G going up for that really didn't seem like it was the right decision right from the get-go, and they get punished for it all the way from downtown shot by Darkfire. Puts them within one. And that could be the mistake that allows Hollywood Hammers to get back in this one.
Yeah, a minute left to play. That is plenty of time to tie things up here. But clear, coming in from the Hammers. As Junior's got this one on lockdown. We see Vince in the midfield, trying to take that ball away from Corrupted G, but he does get the clear back onto the orange half of the field. They're not going to follow this one up just yet. Corrupted G missing the wall hit. Chrome gets it, though. Puts it up front where Darkfire is already waiting the corner. Equinox obviously very happy with the situation right now. They do not need another goal. It's the Hammers who need to put on the pressure. But they have failed to do so far. Perhaps they are a bit too afraid that Equinox will come in from the counter. They are positioned very offensively, and every time they do see an opening, they do not fail to get the ball straight up front, as we have seen. Very well demonstrated here by Corrupted G.
Corrupted G, he's been putting just shot after shot on net. This one finding the way in right there off of the corner of the post. Just eking in. Well done by Corrupted G. And he continues to show us that he is a top scorer in Rocket League.
Yep, certainly is. Has shown that time and time again in this game and previous ones as well. Sad Jr. trying to carry it right in front of the net. Corrupted G with another opportunity. Vince able to save that off into the corner, but it does not change anything as far as the result goes. So Equinox winning game one over the Hammers. Corrupted G with a pretty stellar performance in this series so far.
Yeah, and really Corrupted G, that difference maker. He was so accurate with his shots, just putting them in unblockable places. That last shot so good, but then you can't forget about his teammate Sad Jr. with that bump that set him up originally to strike first. So that was just an all-around team effort coming out from Equinox. They looked like they're performing better as a unit, and we're going to get another lobby up and going. Those players, they didn't want to play in a virtual server, or so they say. So we'll get a new lobby up and going as soon as you get out of that game, Pasch.
Yep, I'm already on my way out.
There we go. But Hollywood Hammers, they looked flat. Sometimes, even when they had Espion, they tended to do that on the offensive side of the ball. They just couldn't really get too much going. And you had mentioned it was not really keeping possession. So, you know, that they're going to have to start looking for each other on the clears, trying to get some counterattacks together instead of just mindlessly, you know, hitting the ball out of their zone. So we'll see. And again, they don't like that server. So,
okay.
We'll get it.
Well, we will get this. Hopefully, we will find a server that pleases the players very soon. But yeah, perhaps. I mean, they've been bumping into each other in game number one. Perhaps it really was a server issue. Perhaps there were some kind of hiccups.
It's just.
I mean, Equinox didn't seem like they were affected by it. But we'll certainly see. Perhaps this one will finally be the one that that they are happy with. It certainly looks like it. So we are going to go into game. Game number 2, Equinox versus Hammers. Let's see if that server switch will do anything for the Hammers here. Equinox not wasting any time to push the ball up forward. Pass over to Corrupted G. Going to get intercepted by Vince. Darkfire can't quite follow it up. Can't quite get there in time. Sad Jr. has been blocking his path. Quite well played. Chrome trying to get it past Vince in the center line. Bumps it over to Corrupted G. And Cross brings it across. Chrome with a very dangerous touch there. But that ultimately gets saved off into the corner by the Hammers. First 30 seconds have passed, and I'm not seeing many changes from game number 1. Equinox still very heavily offensively focused, and the Hammers seem to be suffering under their immense pressure.
And it's just in the early hours of the game, or minutes rather. We did see a few hiccups from Equinox, like when Sad Jr.
Oh my God!
Almost going in,
bouncing off of the goalpost and straight back out. Sad Jr. with a clutch save there. Hammers, they are heavily on offense right now, and Darkfire makes the first goal in this game. Hammers, they are looking for blood.
Darkfire, he had to time this out perfectly to get that over the defense. Just as soon as that ball goes under the crossbar, he was there and slams it in. So that's the start you're looking for from Hollywood Hammers after getting shut out in Game 1, first to strike in Game 2.
Yep. And that's a nice change for them. And see if Equinox can follow this up, or if Hollywood Hammers can keep the pressure going. Chrome fails to get a good clear there. Sathyu immediately going in for that one and trying to block the wide clear from coming out from Equinox. Corrupted G, forcing Sathyu out of position there. Drives up the wall and puts the ball up front. It's actually going to bounce off of the crossbar. Is anyone going to be there to follow it up? Corrupted G, he was banking on the clear. But that one did not quite come, so he jumped way past the ball and possession back in Hammers. Good pass, but not quite picked up on. What a great opportunity.
Yeah, Sathyu maybe just didn't have boost to go for that, but that's the kind of counter-attacking play that you need to make when you're trying to break out of your zone.
Yep, Sad Jr. gets his shot blocked. Chrome tries to put it back in front of the goal net. And Chrome with the demolition on Vince. Can they use this? Corrupted G puts it in front. Oh, Sad Jr. just milliseconds too late, and that shot is going to be saved by Darkfire's Hammers holding on tooth and nail here to their lead.
Yeah, that one, pressure coming out from Equinox. Sad Jr. tried to get there in time, and they're still not out of it just yet. Hammers still trying to hold off this attack coming out from Equinox.
Sad Jr. with another shot on target. Vince once more clearing it away. Doing a very good job defensively right now. Has been in game number 1 as well. They're now at halftime. Hollywood Hammers have managed to hold on to their lead, but the last minute or so has been all Equinox as far as offense goes, with Hammers looking for an opening for their counter-attack. Another wide clear coming out from Equinox. Sathyu is going to get that out of the danger zone. And a goal post demo from Chrome, but ball possession is not on the side of Equinox, so timing not quite perfect on that. Good shot coming in from Vince Sad Jr. Saved that just in time. Now Chrome gets taken out on the goal line. The ball, again, nowhere to be found near the goal line, and Vince with a very difficult save. That Corrupted G trying to follow it up, stuffs it in. 1-1 equalizer.
This was just constant pressure coming out from Equinox. That play by Sad set it up. He had no boost, but that 50-50 win at half set him up to just get that flick, force the rebound, and Corrupted G, he was there to clean it up. So Equinox not giving up, just continuing to assault the net, and it finally pays off.
Yep, absolutely. That was a lot of pressure, and ultimately Hammers have succumbed to it. We're still at even game right now. The Hammers still have a chance to tie the series up straight away. Darkfire gets the shot blocked. Sad Jr. going to carry the ball across the center line, tries to put it in front now. And Darkfire with a wide clear back onto the blue side of the field. This time neither of the teams can play for time. We are going to go to overtime. 1 minute and 30 seconds still remaining, and the ball is caught in the corner. Vince flicks it over. Chrome and Corrupted G are there for the defense, and Hammers just can't get the ball into a center position, into an advantageous position to set up for a shot. Sad Jr. with a good clear. Chrome picks it up, stuffs it past Vince, but Darkfire just in time can manage to clear that off into the corner. And Sathyu going to put the ball off of the backboard where Chrome is already waiting for the clear, puts it back into the center field. 1 minute still remaining. Corrupted G with another wall clear, but Hammers, they have their perimeter set up. They're all ready for the siege. Corrupted G looking for the clear. Hammers have granted them a little bit of space, perhaps. Not the best of choices. Allowed them to set up right in front of the net. Chrome not quite able to pick up on that pass in an advantageous manner. Sathyu does get himself a save here as Equinox are slowly starting to build up pressure, and here comes Chrome with another shot, and he puts it in.
Chrome just a bounce shot, getting by the defense. Corrupted G passing that off the wall. Vince, he was on the wall. That was what didn't allow him to get in position. He had to jump out off the wall, and it was enough of a hole for Chrome to come in and sneak that one by. And Equinox get out to this lead. Just 30 seconds left. This will be tough for Hollywood Hammers to come back from.
It certainly will be, but
your Darkfire.
They don't waste any time.
Darkfire just putting the team on his back right now. Look at this solo play. Corrupted G tried to get up and deny that backboard play, but Darkfire's having none of it. Getting a double touch of his own off the backboard, dunking it in, tying it up just 6 seconds after the last goal from Equinox.
Back to square one, or rather square two. If we look at the scoreboard, will we see an overtime here, or will we see one goal that ends it all in the final 10 seconds of the match. Hollywood Hammers, they are on the offense right now. Can they put it in? Sad Jr. doesn't get a good clear. Here comes Darkfire with a pass into the center. Vince tries to get it past, but Chrome, despite being bumped, is in the ball's path. Can't quite put it in, and this ball's going to touch the ground, and we are going to go into overtime in game number 2. And here's the kickoff.
Very, very important for Hammers to get this win here. Otherwise, they'll be forced to go into a reverse sweep. And so many times, Hollywood Hammers have barely kept a ball out of net. Right now, though, they need to strike first. This is golden goal overtime.
Yep, I'm quite impressed by Vince's defensive showing so far. He has made saves that look very, very hairy, but he's made them work somehow. And I think he's a large reason for why Hollywood Hammers are not already in a reverse sweep situation. As it stands, they do still have a chance to tie things up, still have that safety net nice and clean and warm below them. Let's see if they can turn this pressure that they're currently building up into anything tangible. Ball gets blocked. Off to the midfield it goes. Pass from Corrupted G over to Sad Jr., but he fails to pick it up. Vince gets bumped out of the way, but Corrupted G pushing the ball towards his own half after snatching it off of Sathu. 1 minute into overtime, and despite some early pressure by the Hammers, they haven't quite been able to put anything in just yet. Equinox has been struggling to gain possession, though, and that is the most important thing that Hammers have managed to do.
But still, aggression coming out from both sides. It's been pretty fun to watch. Ooh,
oh, this one comes off the backboard, and Vince once more with a save there. Read that Corrupted G like a book.
That was so dangerous, allowing that backboard hit to happen. That's so scary when the ball's coming right off the backboard back over your net.
But Vince keeping a cool head and once more saving Hollywood Hammers, literally from doom. But another shot coming in from Sat Jr. Sathu tries to save it. The ball bounces off of him and back and forth between the crossbar and the ground, but ultimately goes in.
Corrupted G winning that 50-50 was huge, and then Sathu, yes, you saw it, he got a piece of it, but it wasn't enough of a piece to keep Sad Jr. out of the net, and Equinox in overtime move one step closer to getting into the grand finals. And well done by Sad Jr. on the demolition and just all around brute front. He was bumping so many people. I was watching a ball cam. That's so annoying to get bumped all the time. So Sad, and really everyone from Equinox, you see everybody getting involved, everyone getting a goal, a team hat trick there, and Corrupted G 2 assists as well. So fantastic showing from Equinox.
18 shots, excuse me, not 18, 13 shots from Equinox. As opposed to 6 from Hammer. So that is a lot of pressure that we saw. Most of it happened in the main period of the game. Overtime, Hammers were able to put up some decent pressure, but ultimately none of it actually went in. When the Equinox saw the opening, they immediately made use of it. And apparently we're going to switch servers again?
Yep, we're going to get a named server.
Okay.
Players prefer to have the named servers. They don't like the ones that just have a number strings. So I think, you know, whether it's real or not, they don't like playing with the ones with numbers. They want a named server.
Well, perhaps numbers are bad luck.
Yeah, perhaps.
Or they're just not personalized enough.
But Hollywood Hammers, they had a chance there. They had a chance there to pull this one back, forcing overtime. Darkfire did fantastically. His double tap off the backboard was stellar. That shot was so sick, but it still wasn't enough for them. However, we've seen reverse sweeps happen before, and it's going to have to happen again if the Hammers hope to make it through to the grand finals.
Yep, absolutely. No safety net beneath them anymore. Now it counts. Let's see if they can crawl their way back into the series. Sathu setting up very quickly, putting one on target. Not even 5 seconds after the match started. Chrome has no problem saving that one, though, and immediately clears it over onto the blue half of the field. Vince with another shot. Sad Jr. going to clear that one away, but look at all the pressure that the Hollywood Hammers are putting on. They are really asking for it now.
And this setup right here is a great chance.
Oh, here comes Vince! Puts it in the corner! So close! Would have been unsavable.
Setup by Sathu. He passed that out wonderfully to Vince. Vince almost finding the net, but just off. Now Hollywood Hammers still just furious about that last overtime loss.
Oh, look at that insane pressure. We've seen 3 shots from the Hammers in very, very quick succession, all of which have been able to be saved from Equinox, but they are not letting go. They are putting Equinox under heavy siege right now. They just really have to watch out not to get countered from this, because this much aggression can bite you majorly. So far, though, they have managed to keep Equinox confined to their own half without allowing them to break out. Chrome finally making it pass, and this might be the opportunity they have been looking for. Sathio leading that one over to Vince, who tries to carry it straight back over to the other side. Does have enough boost, tries to get it below Corrupted G. Can't quite make it happen, though. Ball in a good position, but Sad Jr. clearing it off into the corner. And the Hollywood Hammer still immense pressure, but here comes Corrupted G. Can't quite pick that ball up. Darkfire saves it before it crosses the goal line. A minute and 30 seconds have been played, and Hollywood Hammers have been in the driver's seat pretty much the entire time. Darkfire once more carrying it all the way to the goal line. Not quite through, though. The defense from Equinox is holding up strong. Good pass over to Vince from Darkfire. Sad Jr. just able to save that in the nick of time. Unbelievable aggression still coming out from Hollywood Hammers, but still the defense from Equinox. They just won't let any shot through.
Sad Jr. and then Chrome, those saves were insane. And the passing from Hollywood Hammers, just so much pressure coming out from them, but still Equinox keeping them out. This has been quite the defensive showing so far.
Certainly has. Man, oh man, they have been on their toes, and it worked out perfectly for him. Passing to the center, Sathio can't quite get to it. This could be major. Chrome puts the ball up front, but it's ultimately snatched away from him. And finally, we see Equinox breaking out of their own half, putting up some aggression of their own. All that we've seen prior was 1 or 2 counter attempts, but Hollywood Hammers quickly got possession back. Another shot. Sad Jr. is going to save this one as well. How many shots are already on the account of the Hollywood Hammers? That is insane.
Yeah, it's hard to believe we're still sitting scoreless after all the quality shots.
Oh, another shot coming here from Vince, and finally they break through. This one they have been waiting for.
Yeah, this one was bound to happen sooner or later. Vince coming in, not the greatest clear, and he just blasts it right back into the net. An unassisted goal. And now Hammers, they're in the lead. We've seen them come close to taking a game off Equinox, but still haven't been able to make it happen. Trying to change that script here.
Well, if they keep playing like this, then they have a very, very good case for themselves. That much I can say. Sathio putting another one on target. Sad Jr. can save this one. Not that difficult to save. Vince missing the wall hit there. It's going to get possession over to the Equinox team, with Sathio making sure that that ball gets cleared away straight off the bat. And Equinox once more struggling to build up aggression. Hollywood Hammers, they've got the passing plays down to a T now, after struggling with them in the first 2 games. There has been a massive improvement in game number 3 from them. And once more,
it might be in.
Oh, it's the inside of the goalpost. Once more, such a close call.
Rob G, he had to sprint outright to get there in time, and the shot differential is staggering right now. It is 11 shots to just 2. So Equinox, they're struggling right now. This has just been relentless offense.
Oh, and Sathio, he gets it. Sad Jr. can't save it. Puts it against the goalpost, and there it goes in.
Yeah, and Darkfire, he got that flick past Chrome, tried to get a touch. It was not the greatest touch, and Sathio just pounces on him after the ball escapes Chrome. Sathio getting that goal yet again. Darkfire, though, big props to him for flicking it past 2 defenders.
Absolutely. Chrome's going to try to go for the dribble play here, but that gets thwarted by Vince. We see some bumping attempts. Sathio gets bumped out of the way, but can recover just in time. And there's the runaway goal from Vince. Overcommitment from Equinox, and a 3rd goal for the Hammers.
Yeah, and that was a fantastic save by Sathio. Sad Jr. cheating up too far. Didn't get to that challenge in time. And then just a long-range goal yet again by Vince. 2 goals on 7 shots. This is a standout game for Vince.
Absolutely. He has been playing his heart out. 50 seconds still remaining for Equinox to score 3. Looking unlikely, at least based on what we've seen in this game so far. The Hammers seem to have woken up big time after their wonky first 2 games. They're putting up a fantastic match against Equinox right now, and once more, they get an open net. Darkfire is not going to wait long for that one.
But look at the play was all Vince. He gets it by every single member of the defense. He actually drove underneath it. It looked like Corrupted G to prevent him from landing clearly. And then he bounces it off the wall into the middle for Darkfire. So that play, all Vince. That was such a great play.
Vince seems to have been on steroids suddenly. Sathiu is going to get another clear shot, and Equinox is basically just deconstructing at this point.
Yeah, this one getting out of control. 5-0 right now.
And once more, Vince on the setup.
Hammers, yeah. Vince, fantastic showing from him, and really everyone on Hammers just throwing up quite the statistical game.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Trying to just pad some stats right now.
The score sheet is going to look fantastic at the end of the game, at least for the Hammers. Lots of saves on the side of Equinox too, though, so we got to give them that much credit. There's another one. Sad Jr. gets it, gets his Savior medal. I think that's his second one this game for him. Or at least someone got to. And there we go. That is a very, very clear win for the Hollywood Hammers. That, wow, someone must have splashed water in their face.
Yeah, that was definitely a wake-up call. And Hammers 5-0. They got shut out in game 1, so to see him come out in game 3 with their tournament life on the line and just absolutely slap Equinox, that was very impressive. Equinox seems like they could not get anything going. Hammers just constantly attacking the net, putting shots in, forcing saves, and we saw some brilliant saves from Chrome and Sad Jr. early on, but still it was not enough to keep that offense by the Hammers at bay. 5-0. We'll see how Equinox bounces back from that.
And speaking of statistics, there have been 17 shots on the side of the Hammers, 5 goals and 11 saves from Equinox. That means out of those 17, only 1 was not on target. How insane is that?
That just goes to show you how good these guys can be, but they'll have to show up yet again. They're still on match point. If the Hammers lose this game, they are out of the tournament, and Equinox will be moving on.
Yep. Not quite in clear waters just yet. Still got a bit of a mountain to climb, but if they can continue on with their stellar performance from game number 3, then it should not be a problem for them to take this to a game 5 and perhaps even move on to the finals. We shall certainly see game 4 now underway. And Equinox early on making very, very sure that they don't even allow Hammers to build up such pressure in the first place. But Vince once more carrying it up front. Sad Jr. has to get that wall clear. Not enough boost in his tank to follow it up, but there's another touch here from the Hollywood Hammers. Sathiu putting it right down in front of a net, but nobody there to push that one in. Bit of an unexpected bounce there. And we are seeing Equinox with their first offense in quite a while, and Sathiu saving that shot, fantastically positioned for that one. Certainly saw it coming. And there's the clear from the same guy. We see Vince win out the 50-50 in the center. Sathiu is going to go for the shot. 50-50 against Corrupted G. He wins that out. Sad Jr. trying to carry it up front. The Darkfire back home. Manages to get the save. Not quite the clear though, so Equinox still in a good position to make something happen here. And this one's going to bounce off of the backboard. Maybe there to follow things up. But full 3-man force from Equinox. Now on the orange half of the field, and it pays off.
Yeah, this was just continued pressure. Boost starving coming out from Equinox. Sad Jr. bouncing this one off the backboard to Chrome, and Chrome just gets there in time. He had a chance earlier if he would have gotten up quicker to put one in. That time he did not make the same mistake, getting up and putting that pass from Sad Jr. in the back of the net. And this, after getting shut out 5-0, they put that pressure on and get that first goal. So this has been quite the back and forth between these two teams.
Yep, certainly has. But unfortunately, Hammers cannot afford the back. They can only afford the fourth. So they gotta get on the board as soon as possible. The pressure must be immense on them right now. They must be so pumped after that 5-0 game. But Equinox is not allowing them the same space this time around, and Sad Jr. is going to get this one as well. Got it past all 3. Easy goal for him.
And this one, Darkfire and Vince going for that same ball. Vince getting that hit, that messed him up. And then Sad Jr., he followed that in. They were all hoping that that ball was going to roll up the wall, but no, it just kicks right back out, and Sad was there to punch that one in.
Unfortunate situation there. So the lead increases for Equinox. 2-0 right now. Let's see if they can take this game and prevent the Hammers from making a comeback. Sad Jr. playing it over into the other corner. Vince is already waiting for it. Corrupted G plays into the center, but Darkfire right on top of the goal line comes out for that shot. Sathu, being very conservative with his boost there, manages to make it up to the wall and has enough in his tank for a potential follow-up. And Vince pushes it up forward, is out of boost though, so he can't do anything on his own. Chrome with a risky maneuver. And there's the demolition coming in from Darkfire, but Corrupted G on the wall, has control of the ball. Gonna try to get it past Vince. Does manage to do it. Over to Chrome it goes. Managed to get it past the second. Sathy on the wall. Gets his hands on the ball. But Corrupted G already waiting and blocking his clear attempt. So Equinox still making sure that Hammers do not build up the same pressure they were allowed to build up in game number 3.
Yeah, it's been good breakout performances from these guys from their own half when they're on defense to just use one another to force out of the zone, relieve that pressure. And last time when we saw the Hammers doing such a good job at keeping the pressure on, they were just stealing boost after boost after boost, putting shot after shot and making Equinox use their boost to make the saves. This time it is the complete reverse of the story.
Oh, Darkfire, fantastic pass over to Sathu, but Chrome saves it just in the nick of time. Well read on that play. And the first big chance for the Hollywood Hammers in this game so far. Time is running out, and it is running out fast though. Minute and 20 still remaining. They gotta get on the board at least. Let's see Vince try to push the ball up forward. Sad Jr. losing out the 50-50 in the air against Darkfire. Sathu gets it past Chrome. Will this one go in? No, not quite on the angle. Just bounces past the goalpost there. Vince with the bounce off of the corner. Shot opportunity for Sathu, and he makes it. And just as the minute mark hits.
Yeah, Darkfire missed that one. That threw Corrupted G off for a bit. And then the pass off the corner by Vince gets it right past both defenders who were lacking boost. And that puts them within striking distance. 1 minute left to go. Hammers need one more. Otherwise, they will get knocked out of the tournament.
And that is going to be the longest minute of all time for Equinox and the shortest for the Hollywood Hammers. Sathu putting the ball in a good position here. Good block from Corrupted G. Sad Jr. going to go for the clear. And Hammers have already expected it. Chrome centers the ball right in front of the goal. Dangerous position. Corrupted G with the shot, and he puts it in.
Corrupted G has been silent so far this game, but now making his voice heard. It looks like a little bit of a mistouch right there by Sathu. Allowed that one to pop out, and Corrupted G, he is not going to miss that opportunity. 2 goals separating this team from the Hammers. Right now it's looking like Equinox is going to be moving on unless some magic happens.
And up 30 seconds still remaining just about. The Hammers still have 2 goals to catch up on with all the pressure on the side of Equinox right now. Vince pushing the ball up forward. There's a high velocity play coming out of the Hammers. Here comes Darkfire for a shot opportunity and puts it in. 21 seconds for 1. That is very doable.
Darkfire, he refuses to let this go. He continues to impress. He is the lead scorer right now for the Hollywood Hammers. And that shot keeps their dreams alive. 21 seconds left to tie this up.
That is enough time, but they have to do it fast. Sathu pushing the ball up forward straight away, bumping into Darkfire. And here's the 10-second mark. Will they be able to make a play out of this? Sathu trying desperately to keep the ball up forward. Sad Jr. misses the wall clear, but nobody there to apply the pressure from the Hollywood Hammers, and Corrupted G gets the wide clear, puts it on the ground. Equinox wins this and takes the series 3-1. But man, oh man, that the Hollywood Hammers fight.
They certainly did, especially in that game number 3 where they were just popping off. I don't know what possessed the Hammers in game 3, but they needed more of that. They dominated that game, but Equinox, they just bounced right back and played their game in game number 4, closing it out 3-1. And Equinox, they I gave them the nod prior to the series, proved it here, but still Hammers showed that they can hang, and not only hang, but they can beat this team up. So we'll see going into the future how the Hammers respond. They're probably going to go check that film and see what they did in game number 3 that was so effective against Equinox. They made it a fun series to watch, especially in the final seconds with Darkfire putting that second goal in, just putting hammers within one, but still, it was just too much for them to handle. Equinox secured their spot in the grand final.
Absolutely. What a way to start off tonight's Astronauts Rocket League 3v3 tournament. But we've got more Rocket League to go, and next up, the semifinal between Genesis and Phibion, and that is going to be one heck of a match as well, so do not go anywhere. Before we disappear into the break, a short message from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
With well over 1 billion gamers worldwide, how can every gamer elevate their experience to the next level? We took features that we find to be essential to a gaming headset: comfort, durability, and communications, and distilled them to their core components. For the A10, we revisited the roots of our design process.
We looked at our previous headset lines, and we came to the conclusion that there were some essential features that every headset needed to have, and those are durability, high audio quality, and comfortable for long-lasting play sessions. And we believe that with the A10, we really managed to deliver those at an accessible point.
The A10 upholds Astro's standard of high-fidelity audio in a light, durable, comfortable headset.
The quality of TV speakers just isn't high fidelity enough to reproduce all those little details that you would hear over a pair of headphones. Often the first time a gamer puts headphones on, they're amazed. They hear all these little sounds and minute details that they just lose over drivers that come from a TV.
Now every gamer can hear games the way they were meant to, and maintain crystal clear communication with their friends.
Voice communication is crucial to gaming. What we made sure of with the A10 is that we got an easy accessible flip to mute mic, so that when you don't want to be heard, you can just flick it up, and when you want to talk, you can just flick it down. It's also a boom mic, so you can mold it and put it right in front of your mouth or a little further away to make sure that everyone hears you just the way you want them to hear you.
Now, the Astro audio experience is accessible to every kind of gamer. Head over to astrogaming.com for more information on the A10.
And here we are, back again to the Astronauts Rocket League 3v3 monthly $1,000 tournament. My name's Pasch. Catching alongside me will be Jamesbot. We just watched a very, very spectacular first grand final, and now the next one is going to come up straight away, and it's going to be between Genesis and Fibian Esports.
Yep, again, these are two teams that are so closely matched. Fibian, if you've been watching the NBC tournament, the 2v2 tournament, two members of Fibian will actually be going to that grand final in Santa Ana. And Fibian, just another one of those teams that I am looking at as a dark horse team going into the RLCS. So I'm excited to watch these guys play against another veteran team in Genesis, a name that we have all heard before. And the players on that team, Classics, Leth, and Zane Jackie. So all names that we're familiar with.
And Genesis going through a bit of a dry patch right now, though. They didn't do terribly well at DreamHack. They also didn't do terribly well at the Summer Series. Went out in the first round. So it is about time for them to get some results on the board in preparation for this upcoming RLCS season, because recently the results haven't really been on their side.
Yeah, but there's a chance to turn that around before the season starts. This Astro tournament is one of the big ones, so if they can get a win and a good performance here, they'll feel great about themselves moving forward.
Absolutely, and all the players are ready and in the match. So we are just about gonna get into the best of 5 semifinal number 2 in this Astro 3v3 Rocket League tournament. On the blue side, we see Genesis, Lethamir, Classics, and Zane Jackie. On the orange side, Fibian with Hato, Zol, and Chicago. And straight away, oh my goodness, what was that?
It looked like a little bit of a feels backflip, man. Lethamir wins out on that 50-50. Zol accidentally backflips right there. And maybe he didn't have any, but it looks like he might have had some boost to work with, so just a little bit of head-scratching play.
Yeah, not the best start for Fibian, that much is for sure. This 50-50, this kickoff turns into a 50-50. Ultimately, Genesis is able to push the ball forward. It's all off of the wall, tries to get the ball past Lethamir. And Classic's going to extend that wall all the way over to the other side of the field. Lethamir pushing it back up forward, so the pressure is there from Genesis, and Lethamir is going to be the one to score at number 2 as well.
And a quick 2-0 lead, back-to-back. Leth being the one to put these ones in, just picking apart the Fibian defense all by himself.
Yep. Fibian's defense seems to have trouble finding their bearings early on in the series, but obviously this is something that might improve, or rather has to improve over time. But obviously, this being a best of 5, they will have more than enough time to regain their composure, or at least find it in the first place. So that is going to be very important for him. We are again seeing them being pressured a lot by Genesis, though. Finally, they get a good clear. It's all carrying it all the way over into the other half of the field, into the corner. The Chicago in the center trying to block the ball from going into his own half of the field, but once more Zane Jackie gets it through and scores it as well. 3-0 for Genesis.
And again, Zane Jackie helping Genesis extend their lead past Fibian. Hato rather, the last player in net. He had a good chance to stop that ball, but still couldn't do it. It seems like the defense for Fibian is made of Swiss cheese right now, and Genesis is a rat.
Yep,
a very hungry rat.
That's true. Absolutely, they love themselves some cheese. Yeah, only one save on the side of Fibian so far, and apart from that, we've got double donuts for 2 of their players. So this has not been the best match for them so far. Chicago gets himself another save there, but he had to get that one. Carries the ball forward here in unison with Hato. Lethamir once more getting another wide clear back into the corner. Hato off of the side, but Zane Jackie intervening. We see Classics waiting right in front of the net for a pass from Zane Jackie, but ultimately does not get it. Hato finally getting a wide clear, putting the ball in a good position. But they don't get to it in time. And Lethamir, he can scoop that out off of the goal line. My oh my, what a close call there for Fibian. But still, they remain scoreless. First big opportunity for him, though, but Genesis not wasting any time and building the pressure right back up. We saw Zol going up for that ball, but Chicago ultimately got it. That was a double commitment. It's something that we've seen a lot in Fabian's defense so far, so they really, really need to work on their chemistry in this match. You see Hato with a front flip. Zanejaki puts it back up front into the orange half of the field. Fabian having a very tough time breaking out of their own half right now. Genesis doing it so well in Classics with a bump, but it doesn't go. It left him here. Does get the dunk ultimately. Oh, that would have been very unfortunate.
Yeah, look at this bump by Classics. He knocks Hato out of the way, and then left positions himself for that dunk right past that final defender. Genesis is having their way with Fabian in game one.
That was a great bump. I'm actually very glad to see that the goal came out of it. It would have been very unfortunate if it didn't. That bump certainly deserved one. But ultimately, it does not make Fabian's situation any easier. 4-0 in game number 1. At this point, is it safe to write this game off? Doesn't look like it. Hato still has a word to talk here.
Yeah, Hato trying to work his way back in. Chicago, that excellent pass, and then perfect placement by Hato, but still 2 minutes left to score 3. It'll be tough, but we've seen it before. But it is going to be a challenge, especially with how well Genesis has played up to this point.
Yeah, they've left very little room for error, and every single error that Fabian made has been exploited straight away. We are seeing Fabian break out of their own half for the first time in this match. Zal can't quite make that play on his own. Hato with a pass into the center, where Chicago is already waiting with Zanejaki, playing the interceptor in that one, and preventing that pass from finding its intended recipient. Hato gets himself another save. The defense seems to be wrapping up here as well on the side of Fabian. Zal with another save off of a great shot from Zanejaki. As Fabian finally seems to have found their bearing, but time is still ticking away. So perhaps at this point for Fabian, it would be best to write this game off. Say, okay, well, we're going to make sure not to let another one in, and just as I say that, it happens.
Yeah, this is just more piling on of goals by Genesis. Zanejaki keeping that one under the crossbar. That was a 6 shot, and 5-1 for Genesis. Right now, Fabian just has to be thinking, all right, guys, let's not let this get too out of hand. Let's not get Braziled. Let's maybe get 1 or 2 back on the board and try to make this game respectable. And
hey!
Chicago doing just that.
Yep, doing it indeed. 50-50 kickoff, and the clear didn't come in. Lethammer.
Yeah, the 50-50 king.
Lethammer
Looking a little bit like Fireburner there, just winning those 50-50s.
Well, it certainly worked out for him.
And rip the Brazil.
Yep, that's not going to happen. Minute left. Might still see 7 on the side of Genesis, though. Classics missing that double tap. Close call. 1 minute still remaining. I don't think Fabian will be able to catch up on the 3-goal deficit in that time, but at least they can warm themselves up, relax a little bit, get themselves into the game, be one with the ball, and then get back into things for game number 2. As for now, though, Genesis once more mounting an attack. Zal is going to prevent this one. But getting a clear. Both teams playing relatively slow right now. I think both of them are very aware of how this match is going to go. With another push up forward. Classic's going to go up for this one. Has more than enough boost. Zanejaki, good air block coming in from Chicago. Zol's going to go for the shot, but Lethammer blocks it in the last possible moment. And here we see Classics. This might be the last play of the game here for Genesis. Intercepted by Chicago. This one's going to go on target. Oh no, bounces off of the goalpost. And is then deflected out of the goal by Fabian themselves. But ultimately, it does not change anything. Genesis with a very convincing win in this first game. Fabian definitely looked like they had warmed up by the end of that one, though.
Yeah, they started to get in their groove, and they had a really rough start with that first goal put in by Lethammer with a feels backflip man from Zol. But Fabian, they bounced right back in those final seconds, putting some in, but they just cannot let some of those goals in that they were letting in the first game, just the drastic defensive mistakes. But Chicago, he had some really solid plays, that one multiple 50-50 win that led to the goal. It was well done by him. And I would expect Fabian to bounce back. I don't think this is going to be a sweep in favor of Genesis. I expect Fabian to make this a bit of a fight.
Yeah, you can see it in the shots. Fabian almost managing to catch up to Genesis' number of shots. Obviously, it's not quite the same as far as goals go, but Genesis has been mounting a pretty good defense here as well against any offensive attempts from Fibian. But yeah, towards the end of the game, it certainly looked a lot more competitive, and hopefully we can carry that on into game number 2 and see a close series between those two teams here. So, there we go. Game number 2. All the players are ready. Bit of banner in the chat, but here we go. This is Fibian's chance to get into the series. They're going to have to tie up now, or they will be finding themselves in a reverse sweep situation, and that, I think, is a bit too much pressure for them to handle at this point. Lethamir. Play that ball over to Classics. So with a good block, gets demolished for his efforts. Then Jackie putting it off of the backboard. Hato can't quite go. Oh, he can get there in time. Bounces the ball off of his roof. Sets it up for a clear by Zol. Very well played there by Hato on the defense. He gets the ball on his nose right in front of the net. But ultimately, good rotation there from Genesis. Short-term rotation. Managing to clear that ball away just in time. But Fibian already way more aggressive. Miss coming in from Genesis defense. And Chicago is the one to exploit that.
Yeah, Lethamir, he needed to get that hit. It was so critical. Chicago recognized Leth missed that one, and Chicago just pounced right on top of it. And that's going to cost Genesis Fibian strike first. And I would not be surprised to see a completely different Fibian come out in game 2.
Oh, absolutely. Much better start than game number 1 already. Getting on the board after 50 seconds played. Lethamir ties things up straight away, though. What a play.
Yeah, well, I mean, getting a little bit of help. This is just another play where Lethamir gets a little bit of help. Chicago, instead of making the save, accidentally gets the own goal. So, not the most beautiful of shots by Lethamir, but it still managed to work out.
And we see things tied up from Fibian here. Just after they had built themselves up a nice lead early on, they drove a wedge into their own play by tying things up for Genesis. But that just means we are back to square one, back to the start. Board has been reset. They have shown that they can mount an offense so far in game number 2. And they're putting a lot of pressure on Genesis right now. Chicago playing the sweeper on the midfield. Lethamir on the wall. Can he do anything with the ball? Has enough boost to carry it all the way into the net! And he tries to play it smart there. But ultimately,
that was almost sick.
Stopped.
It was almost sick.
Almost sick. But Fibian was there on the defense. They saw that coming. Well played from Fibian's defense, definitely.
And almost a counterattack there. Hato had a chance to put that one in, and he put it high, but still a great counterattack by Fibian, and this game's so much closer.
Oh, tries to set that one up for Zane Jackie, but misses him by a few inches. Wide clear coming in. Zol won't be able to pick up on that pass. Gets the 100 boost, so that's going to be very important. Denying that one from Genesis. And Zol with a shot on target. Zane Jackie, no problem saving that. Didn't even have to burn any boost for it. Gets a slow clear onto the other side. The field has been reset here. Chicago with another push up forward. Hato going to go for the shot, but gets intercepted by Classics. Gets himself the midfield boost. Nearing halftime right now, and this is looking so much more even than game number 1. And despite Fibian scoring 2 goals in this match, the scoreboard is 1-1. Ball's in the corner. Demolition as Zane Jackie gets taken out. That's going to take all the wind out of the sails of Genesis' attack. As Fibian tries to make something happen of their own. Ball bounces off of the wall. Lethamir gets it past one. Zol the sweeper in the midfield. Hato can't beat Classics to the ball. And that's going to be a wide clear. Lethamir is going to look to follow that up straight away. Steals the corner boost. And that's going to cost them a lot of pressure here. Chicago does have enough boost in his tank. Ultimately gets the ball taken away from him. And once more, Genesis pushing the ball forward. In the corner, it is now a bit of a mess there as multiple players stumble over each other, and Zane Jackie makes use of the confusion to get the ball past 2 defenders.
Yeah, I did not expect Zane to beat these 2 defenders. He gets one touch by Hato, and then Chicago thought he had that pre-jump, that angle covered, but no, Zane just blasts it right off the left post and in. Excellent placement by Zane, making that happen.
And that's the lead for Genesis, and definitely not the situation that Fibian wants to be in right now with just under a minute and 30 seconds left to play They are looking dangerously close to reverse sweep territory right now. Lethamir with a save prevents that one from going in. No equalizer that easily for Fibian. And that shot is missed by Hato in the midfield. That's going to be a clear for Genesis. Can they make anything out of this? Lethamir all up in the front. Zanjaki already waiting in the midfield to sweep any clear attempts out. Hato gets it past, but Classic's already up in the air. Misses the shot, though. His teammates have had the time to rotate back, but Chicago has a great angle on the shot and nails it.
Chicago, again, showing that he is the scorer for Fibian. That was a tight angle in Zane. He wasn't expecting Chicago to put a strong shot on net. Perhaps he might have pre-jumped it. But regardless, Chicago scores the second goal for himself and his team. Now puts them in a position where they could take this game.
Yep, 2-2. Zanjaki is being prevented from getting into the net there by Chicago himself. And here comes Zol with his shot, and Hato is going to follow it up. Fibian take the lead.
Lethamir with a brave attempt there, trying to get that save. Or it was Zanjaki, rather. Zanjaki trying to get that save, made it happen, but Hato was there to clean up that rebound. Great pressure from Fibian, and they answer back in game 2.
They certainly do. 50 seconds remaining. This is not over yet. Genesis still have time to tie things up, but Zol is going to make it a lot more difficult for him.
All right, there. 50-50 again. Two players that kind of looked like a bot kickoff there. Winning that one, and Zol was ready for it off the wall, just blasting it in. Now 2-goal lead, 45 seconds left. It's going to be tough for Genesis.
Yep, certainly is. Has been done before, but Fibian certainly have woken up after a shaky game number 1, putting up a hell of a lot of a tougher fight in game number 2. 30 seconds still remaining on the clock. This one is on target. Hato's going to be able to save that. Zanjaki putting it back position for a potential follow-up shot, but Zol has this one on the lockdown, and nobody from Genesis is going to even attempt to go for a follow-up there. They were far too far back already, having rotated back, waiting for the clear. 15 seconds still remaining. Another shot on target coming in from Chicago. Lethamir is going to save that one, and as the 10-second timer appears on the screen, it becomes relatively clear that Fibian have managed to tie up the series in game number 2, and now the slate is clean once more.
An excellent game by Fibian. Chicago especially, I thought, played quite well.
And they're going to get another goal.
Right there, you know, why not? Get a hat trick right there. Padding his stats a little bit. But, yeah, Genesis, they had that game 1 where they just got off to a ridiculous start due to some mistakes by Fibian, but Fibian kept this one a lot cleaner. They were able to clean up their mistakes on defense, and look what happens. They get their offensive side of the ball going and really just stuck it to Genesis in game 2. Look at that shot differential we see. 12 shots to just 5. Fibian strangled Genesis.
And 37 cars bumped for Chicago. That is a great stat. I love that. He has been very physical in this round, and it certainly has shown. And it's paid off, too. 5-2.
Yeah, Chicago getting that hat trick. That final second goal must feel good. But Genesis, we'll see if they respond here. Fibian had their way with Genesis this game. But still, although it was convincing, some of those goals were in the final seconds that we saw the Chicago goal, and then that 50-50 goal that blasted off the side. So it could have been a different story. This game, very critical right here, as it puts them one step closer to closing out this best of 5.
Absolutely. Whoever wins this will have the match point in their hand, so a very, very important match. Probably just second to the actual deciding match in the end. Game kicks off. Chicago trying to put it up forward. Classics playing a good interception there, and he's gonna get demolished by Hato before he can make the shot. What a clutch demo, preventing the early lead for Genesis in that situation. Here comes Zanjaki with another attempt, and Zol jumps too early, betting on that and losing the hand.
Yeah, Zol, he had almost no boost. He had 16 boosts to work with, trying to time that one out. Zanjaki, instead of going high, he bounced it underneath Zol. That decision allowed him to get that goal there. Great read by Zane on the shot.
Yeah, Genesis, the first ones to score in this game. This one's going to bounce off of the backboard, but Lethamir is there to pick it up on the bounce. But whoa! What an opening! Chicago surgically strikes.
Yeah, Chicago's just waiting in the mid, waiting for his opportunity. Comes up. Hato also went for that, so that could have been disastrous for them, but Chicago gets there first and puts it far post, tying it up for Fibian.
Yep, and not long after the first goal as well. So, Fibian showing that they are a serious contender for the finals here. And game one was an outlier, as they have proven. Oh, but Lethamyr gets the ball served to him right in front of the net.
Yeah, and this one, a boomer from Classics. He just launches that one in. Chicago and Hato both went for that one because of how much pace was on it. They didn't have time to communicate, and Lethamyr easily is going to put that one in off the ceiling bounce. So immediately Genesis answer back.
And what a pace on this game, for sure. Zol putting it back up front. Zanejaki missing the backboard hit. Classics coming in from the side. Chicago was counting on him to land that clear, but ultimately didn't. And now Lethamyr gets the chance to almost carry the ball, but Zol can just rotate back in time. Just in time to clear that off. What a hairy situation for both teams, but no goals scored off of it.
That was a scary situation. Lethamyr so good in those one-on-one situations as well.
Sheesh, Chicago bouncing the ball up here. Hato already waiting up there, kills the ball in the air, setting it up for Zol. Good play from Fibian, putting them back up front. Here comes Chicago with a shot, puts it in. Classics not back in time.
So, yeah, this was a strange play. Classics, maybe he thought he was going to get demoed there. He jumps and backflips, and Chicago was able to put a shot into the corner in time. So that backflip from Classics.
Perhaps he did not expect the touch from Lethamyr.
Yeah.
Perhaps he didn't expect the touch from Lethamyr.
Perhaps, but still, why would you backflip in that situation? You can just reverse.
That's true. Well, it will forever remain a mystery, but Fibian will certainly be happy about it, since it allowed them to tie things up. And this is already a very high-scoring game between these two teams. 2 minutes have just passed, and 4 goals already has been scored. Good bump from Zol onto Classics, but unfortunately Zanejaki was the one who made the shot.
And this is the second time Zanejaki has gone low. You hear Chicago going up for the high shot, and Zane just goes low and bounces it right past again. So Zane just being surgical with the placement.
Yeah, but certainly, and that is the lead once more for Genesis, and another goal has been scored in this match. Both teams are going at each other's necks right now, looking to draw some blood. Well, it gets cleared over onto the side, where Classics clears it back into the midfield. Chicago winning out that aerial 50-50, gonna go look for a goalie bump, but Lethamyr is all up on that wall, and Classics nowhere near the goal line, so he didn't find any targets there. Ultimately took himself out of that offensive play. Chicago being, of course, the striker, so perhaps one of the most important figures in Fibian's offense. And right now, Genesis have found their offensive footing, putting so much pressure on Fibian. Zol manages to get it past Classics here, manages to get it past Zanejaki as well, but he does get another touch, and that's just enough to throw Hato off. Oh, but a missed touch from Lethamyr. Zato can't quite capitalize on it. Close call. Zanejaki back on the ball here as Genesis mounting another offense. The Chicago, allows Classics to take the ball here. Zol place the second wall, place the fallback. Hit it with a pass over to Chicago. They aren't managing to get a wide clear here, and that is just what Genesis are very happy about. You see Hato once more. Not enough momentum to get that clear out. Fibian being completely boost-starved right now, and that allows Genesis to go for a heavy offense. Hato finally getting a clear, and now they're going to look for offense here. Zol opting to go for the ball, and Hato finally picks himself up some boost. But is this going to be enough for Fibian to break out and get some offense time in of their own?
Doesn't look like it just yet.
Yeah, Genesis are making very, very quick use of any opportunity they can get to gain back possession. And they're making it very, very hard for Fibian to snatch away from them. They're certainly not making any mistakes that would allow Fibian to go in, snatch the ball off, go for a wide clear. And they're doing so well on the boost starving. I'm pretty sure that Fibian has been starving for boost for the entirety of the offense. And finally, Classics puts it in. That was just a matter of time.
Yeah, Classics just chasing this ball down, wins that 50-50 against Hato, and uses up all his boost to blast that one in. That was a sick shot by Classics. That one gonna seemingly close it out. I mean, I've said that before, and teams have come back, but I strongly feel like Genesis is gonna finish this one out.
Well, perhaps this reset, this new kickoff, is what Fibian needed to finally break out of that starred position, out of that pressured position. It is certainly enough time. We have seen it. There have been 5 goals in the first 2 minutes of the game, so the pace is definitely there for both teams. Here comes Chicago, sets up a perfect shot for Zol, and that means they're just 1 away from clearing up.
This one, I should just stop trying to call games early. That setup from Chicago was nasty. Zol coming in to bounce that one right in. So 1 goal, 33 seconds, very doable.
Very doable indeed. Fibian with a chance to tie things up here and perhaps take the lead in the series. 30 seconds are remaining. We are seeing it on the screen. Genesis. Zane Jackie putting the ball up front. It looks like they are looking to apply as much pressure as possible, not even allow Fibian to break out of their own half for these final few seconds of the game. But all they need is 1 wide clear. They just cannot allow themselves to get sieged again. And this is exactly what's happening right now. Genesis playing it so well. They aren't even playing to score. They're just playing to keep the ball away from Fibian at this point. And Zane Jackie puts it up front once more. Chicago, all he can do is juggle the ball. And now, with the very little boost they have to carry it all the way over to the other side of the field. That ain't going to happen. Genesis, they take the lead in the series and are now in match ball position.
But still, this has been quite the back and forth between these teams. Chicago stepping up yet again. He has been the star, in my opinion, for Fibian. On the other hand, Genesis, Zane Jackie, his shots were just fantastic. Both his goals coming with the bounce shots, bouncing it underneath the defender, having the awareness to do that, so key. And so that was the difference for Genesis. Zane Jackie, his offense coming up big.
Certainly has. It was really all about that. I think it was 2 minutes long, that 2-minute long siege from Genesis where they didn't allow Fibian any inch of space. That took away so much momentum from the early stages of the game. We saw 5 goals in the first 2 minutes and then just 2 for the remainder of the entire game. Genesis played that very well.
Absolutely, but now 1 game away from moving on. They could play Equinox in the grand finals if they win this game.
Let's see if they can. 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get this party started. And Genesis wants to get it started as well. Classics making sure that the ball gets as much into the center as possible against all stated and expressed wishes from Fibian's defense. But finally they do break through, get the ball onto the other half of the field. All 3 members of Fibian on the blue half right now. They have to watch out not to get countered. Immediate back rotation. Classics playing it very patiently here. Gonna have to save that ball away. And then Jackie manages to do it. Another center shot from Hato. Straight into the Genesis defense, but the pressure, it is still on. Demolition, Classics gets taken out, but Lethamir is able to get his hands on the ball and get the heck out of the danger zone before things get, well, too dangerous. And another demolition here as Zane Jackie gets taken out. Unfortunately, both demolitions were not able to be capitalized on because of quick rotational work by Genesis. 1 minute has passed, and Fibian is definitely with the higher aggression at this point, and they won't be able to save this one. Hato draws first blood.
Yeah, and Chicago just threw that into the corner. Leth was a little bit confused by it, didn't attack, and that allowed it to bounce out into the middle. Hato, he was there and ready. And Fibian get the first goal in game number 4, and that's good for them because they have to win this to stay alive in the tournament.
Absolutely. And it's really all about managing and handling the pressure that Genesis are probably about to throw at them. We'll probably want to build up another goal for buffer, or not even allow Genesis to get going in the first place, because we have seen what happens if they do. Lethamir. So throwing himself into that ball, not even allowing Lethamir to do anything with it. Oh, but that's a runaway shot. Classic scores it from crossfield.
Yeah, Hato, he was there going for that ball. That was pretty hopeless for him. He would have needed to just turn around and try to get back to net as quickly as possible. Even then, it might not have even been enough. Classics with the long-range goal after Fibian just they get too far out of their own half.
Yep, ties things up. Definitely not what Fabian was looking for. Demolition as Classics takes down Hato in the midfield. Lethamir with a wall hit. Bringing it all the way up front. Classics fails to get it past Zato. Hato. And Zanejack with a shot opportunity. Gets it past Zol, and that is all that he needed to do.
Zane just putting on the clinic when it comes to shot placement today. Getting up, seeing Chicago's coming in, using the underside of his car to just hit that to the near post. Well done yet again by Zane.
And that is a lead here for Genesis. Amphibian has got to have sweat on their foreheads right now. This have just passed, but even 3 minutes might not be enough time against a team of the likes of Genesis. We've seen it before. Zol trying to get it past here. Chicago in the midfield, trying to keep this play alive, trying to keep it going. Zol from the side. What a shot. What an equalizer.
Enough. Just an excellent boomer of a shot here. Zol coming in, not even letting that ball hit the ground. Hits it just so well. And that one getting by Zane, the last defender in the net.
And so things are back to even in this game number 4. Amphibians' hopes and dreams are still alive as we near halftime. They push the ball back up forward. Lethamir off of the wall, gets a good clear. Chicago puts it back up front. Classics getting bumped in the midfield, but can reverse into the ball to get it into a better position. But Zol snatches it away from him, looking to mount an offense. Chicago, the only defender right now. The rotation has to be fast from Fabian. Lethamir taking down Chicago. That was a major player in the defense right now. But Zol able to scoop that ball out from the inside of the goalpost, and that is enough time for Chicago to come back. So well handled right there. 2v3 situation. Genesis still not done yet. Lethamir gets the ball snatched away from him by Hato, and Chicago fails to get a good clear. Bounces off of the ceiling. Into the center of the field. Hato with an opportunity to put it off of the backboard. Is anyone there from Fabian to follow up on it? No, but Zanejack sure is, and gets it clear. Back onto the orange half of the field. Zol now trying to play out Zanejack. He manages to do it, but Classics in a good position to snatch that ball away. Bit of a midfield quarrel going on around right now between those two teams. But the moment the ball breaks through into either of those halves decisively, it's going to be very, very dangerous. This might just be the situation we've been looking for. Here comes Hato. He has a grasp on the ball. Classics and Lethamir both going for it. Classics going to be out of this one for a while, but nobody from Fabian able to go for that ball. Lethamir played it very wisely, went for the long aerial to make it impossible for anyone to go for it.
Looked like a little bit of confusion there on who was going to go for that ball as well. Classics is going to get this boost steal, so we might see a tough situation for Fabian if they can't get enough boost to hold off this attack from Genesis.
Yeah, we've seen what happened the last time Fabian got boost starved by Genesis. It did not end prettily. 45 seconds still remaining. It is in the decisive phase of this match as well. Chicago managing to bounce off of the wall with 0 boost and somehow get that ball out of his own half, and that's going to buy them enough time and space to get their tanks back up to full. 30 seconds still remaining. We are still tied here. Fabian hanging on to the series, tooth and nail, but Genesis, they wanted to seal this coffin shut and push the final nail in. And Classics popping the ball up. He's going to try to make a shot from all across the field. Not sure if that is what he wanted to do. That just basically gave up possession over to Fabian. And Chicago, not going to waste any time, was putting that ball all the way up forward. Classics with a good clear. 5 seconds still remaining. It looks like we're going to see an overtime here. Golden goal situation for Fabian. Either they make it to game 5 or they are out.
Everything on the line. Oh, this is a chance for Classics if he can get the dunk.
Couldn't quite get it. Hato coming for the defense just in time, preventing an early goal in the overtime from Genesis. Lethamir. Oh, what was that?
My goodness.
Dangerous stuff.
That seems so risky. A lot of times you don't want to take your time when you're right in front of your own net. That was a scary moment for Genesis.
Especially when there's a Zol with full boost charging at the ball. Any second later, that would have been the perfect setup for a goal, but ultimately it did go well in the end. 40 seconds have been played, and the ball has been passed back and forth between both sides of the field so far. Neither team really getting a decisive chance just yet apart from Classics' early double tap opportunity. 5 seconds in. Bump. Chicago gets bumped out of the way from Zoll. And communication mistakes, tiny little lapses like this, is definitely not what you want to happen in such a life and death situation such as this.
Yeah, we're just seeing a battle for possession right now. Both teams going back and forth. Neither one able to really get control of the ball for very long.
Bounce off of the backboard. Chicago going to have to get that clear. Genesis in an offensive position. All three members waiting around the midfield line. Lethamyr trying to get it past Hato here. Zane Jackie misses the touch, and the Classics prepares the ball for a clear from Zoll. Doesn't quite get it though, and here's Hato. He has to get the ball away from that box. And Zoll with another dangerous clear. That's going to be a shot from Zane Jackie. Chicago can bounce off of the wall and clear that off to the side. What a hairy situation for Fibian, but they still hold on, and we are about to reach the 2-minute mark in this overtime. Classics with another center ball. Zane Jackie setting it up for Lethamyr here, and he chooses to play it into the corner due to the heavy defensive presence of Fibian in the midfield.
Yeah, that was an interesting decision by Lethamyr to kick that assault off, where he just left the ball, turned around, and went and got boost. So Genesis right now, they have been looking a little bit stronger in this overtime, but all it takes is one counterattack to end this game.
From either team. Almost half a full game played in this overtime now. Ball gets pushed back onto the blue half of the field. Hato trying to push it forward. Lethamyr gets his opportunity taken away from him by Zoll, but Zane Jackie is going to get another wide clear. Demolition. Zoll gets taken out of the equation for this time being, but the clear just in time. Perfect timing. Allows Zoll to respawn before it can turn into a 3v2 situation. That is a very fortunate bounce into the center of the field from Lethamyr, but Hato able to get his hands on that ball before anyone from Genesis can, and that's a wide clear from Chicago, just what they need. 3 minutes now played. You could cut the tension with a knife right now.
Wow, and this is such a critical hit by Classics. Still in danger here.
Oh, here comes Hato. Chance for Chicago. Can't get the ball past, though. Classics blocking it with his own body. And Zane Jackie, Zoll just barreling past the ball there. But ultimately, Hato was able to play the defensive wall in that situation. And it was such a crucial situation, too. And Lethamyr with a bounce. Chicago trying to pass it over to Zoll, who is up front. Can't quite make it happen, though. Hato off of the wall. And Lethamyr with an opportunity to clear. Zoll playing the wall there. Can Hato rotate in time? No, he cannot. Zane Jackie had already had his hands on that ball. Chicago gets taken out, but once more they can't really capitalize on that demolition. Chicago respawning just in time because there was just not enough momentum in that play. Good pinch from Chicago. Puts it right up front.
Chicago just blasting that one, pitching it between the wall. Hoping for the best. It worked out for him there.
4 minutes have now been played in this overtime. Almost a full game's worth. Both these teams playing so carefully right now. But especially Fibian, since their tournament life is on the line. Pass into the midfield. Lethamyr's going to pick that one up. Bounces off of the ceiling. Chicago can't get a good shot on it. And Zane Jackie able to get back in time. Zoll gets his shot cut off from him. Hato losing out the battle of speed to Classics. Ball in a dangerous position right now. We're going to have to see a clear from Fibian, and they do get it. Lethamyr trying to pass it over to Classics here, but he cannot quite get his hands on that pass. And here we go. Game 5 has just concluded, and we are still in overtime. Oh, here comes Chicago with a chance. Zane Jackie saves that off to the side. Maybe they're going to go for Game 6.
This is quite the long overtime so far. Both of these teams just trying to find that chink in the other team's armor.
Chicago with a wide clear, but I didn't see the Classics were already on the goal line. Oh, and the bump! Oh, the bump! The same team bump! And that seals the deal. What a crucial mistake there.
Hato he bumped Zoll just the slightest bit, and that is the mistake that allows Genesis to steal the win after over 5 minutes of overtime. Classics ends that game, and really just perseverance from Genesis. After that much time, it was surprising we didn't see a mistake earlier.
Yep, absolutely. But man, oh man, what a way to go out of the tournament. They really got to be kicking themselves for that one. But gotta say, well played. They've had so much attrition after losing game 1 in a pretty disastrous fashion. They came back huge and put up one heck of a good fight in game number 4. Ultimately, though, Genesis, they had more perseverance, and in the end, they had that little bit of extra luck that they needed.
Yeah, it's just trying to not make those mistakes. After 5 minutes of overtime, something is bound to happen. It was unfortunate for Fibian that Hato got a piece of Zol there in that final play of the game, but still Fibian, they kept every game close except for that game 1 where Genesis got off to a pretty fortunate start. And then there was a few other instances where the Fibian defense just kind of lacked a little bit, but still they proved that they belong in the top tier with teams like Equinox and like Genesis, and they are a threat in any tournament that they play. And this time falling short against Genesis, and Genesis is going to be happy to move on to play Equinox in the grand finals.
Absolutely. That is going to be one heck of a grand final to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing all of the teams that we've played today, that we've seen today play in the RLCS, because I'm very, very sure that we will see old faces as soon as that kicks off. But for now, it is time to put the top on this tournament. Next up is going to be the grand finals. We already mentioned it, between Genesis and Equinox. It's going to be one heck of a match. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a short message from our sponsors. All right, everyone, it's the moment we've all been waiting for ever since this evening of Rocket League started. The grand final in this month's Astronauts Rocket League 3v3 $1,000 tournament. My name's the Pasch. Joining me will be Jamesbot, and we have our grand final set up all ready for us. Genesis versus Equinox. Yes, Equinox.
Absolutely, yes. Genesis versus Equinox. This game is the grand finals best of 5 or 7.
Best
what do
of
we
7.
have? Pasch? Best of 7. Excellent. So this is going to guarantee that the better team usually takes the cake here. And this one, very important because Genesis and Equinox, I kind of put them at the same level in terms of skill. So this is a very important match, not only for who's going to take home that $750 first place prize, but who is also going to walk away being viewed as that better team when seeding comes around for the RLCS.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It has been mentioned in many places by RLCS officials that this tournament, among many others, will be used for seeding for the upcoming RLCS qualifiers. And so, yeah, especially with both these teams being on even footing, a victory here might spell a much easier path through the tournament that is upcoming.
Absolutely. And both of these teams guaranteed money as well, so at least that feels good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Pedestal means money. Well, if you leave out the third place, well, there's no third place match here, so yeah, $250 still if you come in second, which is still a nice little bit of pocket change, but of course that $750 big chunk of the prize money is definitely what these players will be playing for here. And I think we are just about ready to hop into the match. Equinox will be on blue here, with Genesis on orange. It's going to be the best of 7 grand final. Real quick, we've seen both teams play already. What do you think? Who's taking this?
I was impressed by Corrupted G in the previous series that Equinox played. And then on Genesis, I thought Zane was playing quite well. So we'll see who gets off to the early start, but I think I'd give this one to Equinox overall. I think they slightly edge out Genesis in this matchup.
We'll certainly see. Game number 1 is now underway. We are already seeing a lot of pressure put onto Genesis's goal here, as Equinox comes out guns blazing into this grand final match. And Zane Jackie backpassing this one just to find some footing for his own team. This one's going to roll up the wall. Corrupt G, pressure in Classics here, does manage to get the ball out of the danger zone just in time, but Chrome, he's going to play that off to the other side and follow it all by himself. Equinox really looking to pull a fast one here in the early stages of the game. Remains to be seen whether they are successful with their rush tactics, as Genesis has overcome these first early waves of aggression and have now started to find their footing in this match. Oh, Chrome trying to play this one all by himself off of the wall, but Classic's able to save that one. Doesn't quite get the wall hit. Sad Jr. with a shot! What a grenade it is.
Yeah, he just blasted this one. Corrupted G throwing it into the middle. Classics tried to get the clear, but what he actually did was just pass it right to Sad. And it looks like Lethamir was in net. Wasn't able to react in time, and Sad Jr. taking advantage of that center ball from Classics, getting his team the early lead.
So what a start. Relentless aggression in the early stages, and it pays off just over a minute into the game. Equinox coming into this very, very strong, and we have seen in their previous semifinal series, semifinal number 1 of the night, what they can do if they really get going. They really have momentum on their side. It can be very difficult to wrestle it off of them. For the time being, though, Genesis, still plenty of time, plenty of opportunity to tie things up here, but we haven't really seen them in any offensive capacity in this match so far, which is interesting, as they were definitely the aggressor in their previous series that we watched against Fibian.
It's just one of those situations where they're still just feeling each other out. It's game number 1 out of a 7-game slog. 3 minutes left on the clock. Still plenty of the time for these teams to get in their groove.
Absolutely. Nearing halftime in game number 1, though. And Equinox has definitely been the better team in this game so far, with Genesis having nary an opportunity to put any pressure on that blue goal. And here comes Sad Jr. with another opportunity. Finally, they do get it clear, and Zane Jackie is gonna try to put that one on target. Classics off of the backboard. Follow-up shot gets missed by Leftimir, but there's another one. Hits the crossbar down onto the ground, and here comes Corrupted G blocking the shot from getting in, and they had enough time to rotate back. Leftimir trying to get it in again, but Sad Jr. is going to be the one to save it this time. Genesis finally showing some aggression, and oh boy, what a hot situation in that blue goal.
This Equinox defense holding strong despite all of those shots coming in. And now they're on the counterattack, but well done by Equinox, just keeping the scoreline in their favor after all of that pressure.
Yep. Looks like Genesis just needed a little bit of time to warm themselves up. But after that attack, Equinox managing to keep things quiet, at least for the time being. Nearing the 1 minute and 30-second mark here, as Sad Jr. plays that off into the corner. Genesis finally showing some presence in the blue half of the field. But so far, despite their very best efforts, no ball crossing the goal line, actually. Leftimir with a wide shot. No problem for Sad Jr. to block that one, but he blocks it into the corner, which allows Genesis to retain possession. That was not going to be a wide clear, and Sad Jr. going to try to play this one off of his own. Almost manages to do it. Hits the goalpost. Chrome is there for the follow-up.
Yeah, this was a little bit of a fortunate situation. Sad had zero boost. Leftimir saved it right back into Sad. It hit off his car and hit off the post and right back out to Chrome. So Leftimir, if he had just hit it just a slightly different, that play could have turned out not so negatively for Genesis. Now 1 minute left. Genesis still scoreless, and this defense from Equinox has just seemed unbreakable.
It certainly did. 1 minute still remaining. 2 goals to catch up on for Genesis. And so far, you've mentioned it, there has been no getting past the iron wall that has been Equinox so far. As time is running short, things are still not looking so good for Genesis. You could clearly see their improvement over the course of the game. In the early stages, they were completely shut out by Equinox. Didn't even break out of their own half. And then they got some very dangerous situations, but ultimately this is going to be the 3rd goal for Equinox.
And this one coming from a whiff from Classics. Classics trying to hit that ball, just misses an outright. Chrome, he won't miss on the other hand. 3-0 in favor of Equinox. This one out of reach for Genesis.
Certainly was. 30 seconds still remaining on the clock. And this is probably out of hand here for Genesis, unless they pull off some kind of miracle, which I doubt. So, what is there? Yeah, there we go. 4-0. Sad Jr. is the one to score it.
Yeah, Zane Jackie, he needed to get a better hit than that. Classics also didn't get much of a clear, and Chrome just pops that right up for Leftimir to finish off. Or Chrome rather, to finish off. And this one just was not Genesis's game.
I mean, at this point,
from the get-go.
At this point, it's probably safe for you to actually call this game early, because this is not going to happen.
I called it at 30 seconds left. I mean, sometimes I have a bad habit of doing that, but
that's true. This time you got it right on the head. So yeah, this game is over, and it's going to be one for Equinox, winning it very convincingly in a 4-0 lead. What went wrong there for Genesis?
Genesis, they just had some pretty bad mistakes there on defense. We saw Classic whiff that shot. They also got a little bit unfortunate with Zane Jackie, or Leftimir, I think it was, clearing it right back to Sad, who had no boost, and then it bounced off the post and right back to Chrome. And then we saw just the inability for Genesis to finish off a goal against Equinox. That Equinox defense just turning aside shot after shot after shot. So, you know, if you're Genesis, you just chalk it up to one of those games. This is a brand new game, 7-game series. So I wouldn't be surprised if Genesis, they just get right back into this game, strike first, and make this a much more respectable match. I don't think Equinox is going to sweep or even get close to sweeping Genesis in this matchup.
We'll certainly see about that. They did look much better towards the end of game number 1 than they did towards the start. Perhaps this clean save is just what they need to get things back on track, as we see the first big chance. Sad Jr. saving that off of the neck of the goal line, and another opportunity. This time it's Lethamyr who prevents it from crossing the line. Both teams getting a pretty dangerous shot in the first 10 seconds of the game, and there's another one coming in from Sad Jr. This time it's Zanejacket to save it, and the pace of the game has very much picked up from game number 1.
Yeah, off to a hot start in game number 2, just 30 seconds in, already opportunities for both sides.
Crazy, crazy stuff here. Let's see who will be the first one to actually make that goal cross the goal line. As we once more see the ball ping-pong between both sides of the field. Not the midfield, but between both backboards, pretty much. Because there's so much speed on that ball. Lethamyr driving into the wall there, giving up valuable space right in front of the blue net. And Chrome able to carry that one out all the way into the corner. Zanejacket barrel rolls into it. Corrupted G getting it past Lethamyr. With Chrome giving way to Classics, who gets it past Sad Jr. as well, but Chrome back home. He's able to clear that away. Shot attempt from Corrupted G. Chrome's going to go for the follow-up, bouncing off of the side wall, but Lethamyr able to get his hands on that one. Zanejacket with a pass into the center, intercepted by Corrupted G. And after a very, very, let's say, spectacular start, play has shifted back into the midfield as both teams fight for possession. Sad Jr. in the corner here. Classics trying to intervene. Zanejacket in the midfield, stopping the ball, trying to get it past Corrupted G. Can't quite make it happen though, and Chrome is gonna benefit from that situation. Lose the ball to Lethamyr though. He is out of boost. Snatches the boost away from Sad Jr. as well. So he's just with 20 boost all the way up front, but manages to set up a very good ball for Chrome.
Yeah, and this was a side flip by Lethamyr that gave Sad Jr. the space to work with this ball. Sad just challenged the keeper, and Chrome was there for that rebound. So an excellent decision by Sad Jr. just forcing the issue, and it pays off.
Ultimately, that boost steal from Chrome paid off big time because he used every single drop of that boost to get from the midfield into the position where Sad Jr. had prepared the ball for the shot. So all around well played by Equinox. As we are nearing halftime, they are the ones in the lead. Only by 1 goal to Genesis. All they need to do is get one past the goal line, and we are all back to even. So far, though, apart from that early chance, very early chance, that early firework that both teams threw onto the field, we haven't seen any big opportunities. As I say that, Lethamyr gets the shot. Corrupted G able to save that. Good wide clear from Sad Jr. Lethamyr is able to get to the wall in time for the wall clear. Sad Jr. stopping it once more, putting it back up front. From the side, might set something up here. Corrupted G rotating back after he saw the Classics had his hands on the ball, though. It was not going to be a successful pass. 2-minute mark has now been passed. And Genesis still struggling to get chances on the field. Oh, Lethamyr with a shot. Chrome able to save that off of the crossbar. Dangerous situation there. And another one. This one, oh, Sad Jr. Almost with the own goal, but Corrupted G can save it. Scoop it out.
It seems like Equinox, they have just done some kind of... Oh, there it's going to be a goal eventually. I was wondering when that first goal was going to come. It seems like Equinox could just not get scored on, but that pass from Classics out to Zanejacket, nobody left at home for Equinox. That's going to be the first one, but still just stellar defense, especially by Chrome, getting up, making that save. Equinox not making it easy for Genesis to put one by.
Nope, definitely not. Finally, they got one in with just a minute and 20 left to play. And they are certainly going to be vying for that second one. Because in overtime, probably neither of the teams is going to want to go into overtime because it's just such a pace killer. But Chrome going to save that shot here. Corrupted G has been taken out by Zanejacket, but he has had enough time to respawn. 1 minute still remaining on the clock. Classic carrying the ball all the way up forward. And now back passing it to Zanejacket. Well done. Not quite the correct angle. And Chrome pushing it all the way up forward. Once more, Classic saving it into the corner, leaving it over for Zanejacket. But Corrupted G is going to get his hands on the ball. Zanejacket with the wall clear. Very important positioning from him there. And Lethamyr carrying it back onto the blue half of the field. Lethamyr gets taken out of the equation, though, and that attack is going to be over. He was such a big part of the pressure, and here comes Sad Jr., and he finds a gap, and he uses it.
And Sad Jr., he's racing. He has 0 boost, snags that corner boost, immediately turns, and instead of going for the pass like Leth was expecting, he just launches that right underneath the crossbar. Sad Jr. taking matters into his own hands.
Certainly does, and with 25 seconds left to play, Equinox again in the lead. Genesis is going to have to focus all their efforts and the offense now. Throw everything up front. Don't worry about any additional losses because this can't get any worse at this point. 5 seconds still remaining. The ball is in their own half. Can they carry it on through? No, Chrome denies it. And that is going to be a Game 2 win for Equinox. They shut down Genesis.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the shots, it was a very even affair, but Equinox just was not letting anything in. Chrome with a pretty insane save there, one that was it seemed to surely be going in, but no, he kept it out. Excellent, excellent defense from Equinox, but can they keep it up? That was quite the barrage from Genesis.
Yeah, but certainly was. Defense has held strong so far, but over time, cracks are going to appear in any wall, no matter how reinforced it may be. So Game 3 might finally be the time for Genesis to get on the board as far as the series is concerned. Let's see if they can make it happen, or if Equinox will put them into a 4-game reverse sweep situation. Doesn't look like it. Classics starting it off.
After battling and battling and battling just to get that one goal here, they get one early. Sad Jr. It looked like he just misread that one, didn't have a ton of boost to work with, but Classics just going to get that easy backboard read and a layup for him just 12 seconds in. Genesis getting off on the right foot.
Right foot indeed. Chrome, though, wants to keep the pace going for Equinox, wants to throw up the momentum. Jackie not in a good position to go for any defensive balls there, but Sad Jr., he can't get a good shot. He can get a solid shot up front, props it up into the air. That is plenty of time for Genesis to reposition themselves. Here comes Lethamyr with the shot. Zane Jackie tries to go for the follow-up. Corrupted G ultimately does get the clear onto the other side of the field, but Genesis are the ones aggressing right now, and Genesis are the ones in control of the game right now. They really have to watch out not to give up position to Equinox, though. We see Lethamyr, Corrupted G, trying as hard as he can to deny any available space he can get his hands on. But Genesis just play above him and manage to deny his efforts. And Equinox just don't seem to be able to get any kind of momentum going right now. Genesis very effective at shutting them down.
Yeah, they had 0 boost for quite some time, but now is a counterattack opportunity, a 1v1 situation. Oh, Corrupted G.
Up into the air.
Getting that pass out.
Follow-up shot is denied by Lethamyr. What a close situation. Ultimately, still no goal for Equinox. Chrome just barely keeping that ball away from Zane Jack. He was looking for it like a hungry wolf. And Genesis have kept Equinox on their half of the field for the entirety of the game pretty much so far. Classic's going for another shot. This one's going to get blocked there. But once more, Lethamyr waiting in the midfield. All he has to do is rotate and put it back up forward. And Classics managing to bounce it off of the ceiling straight down onto towards the floor. Sad Jr., the only one, pops it up into the air. The angle's not quite there for Sad Jr. Classics bounces it off of the side. Lethamyr has a shot opportunity there. They took quite a few corners, but ultimately it does go in.
And this is still the barrage continues from Genesis. Chrome tried to get up and get the save, but when your tank is 100% empty, that is a difficult task to do. And now a 2-goal lead. We're just about hitting the halfway mark in this game, but Genesis, they finally just battered down this defense from Equinox.
We haven't seen much from Equinox offensively either. They have pretty much just let Genesis come at them over and over again. At some point, the defense is just going to break, as we have just seen. 2-0 lead at halftime. There's not enough time for Equinox to tie things up here, but they're going to have to push forward. They're going to have to show some kind of offense. don't want to have any chance at getting this immense pressure, this immense bargaining chip of the match ball, the quadruple match ball. And it's such such importance in a best of 7 series to have this huge advantage.
Absolutely. Equinox getting those first 2 games in incredible defensive fashion. Here, Genesis seems to have figured it out. But this is just one game. This is game 3 in a best of 7. There's still quite the distance to go.
Oh, this one was basically...
Let's see how much time he actually had here. Chrome, he put the ball down towards the net, but I don't know if... I think that might have bounced high. I don't think Sad Jr. would have been there in time. Zane Jackie must have thought someone was breathing down his neck, trying to do something, but ends up just putting it into his own net. Honestly, I think Sad Jr. would not have been there in time.
That was a bit confusing. I had to double check it was colorblind because that looked so deliberate. But ultimately, no, it is just an own goal. And Zane Jackie scored into his own net, and that is pretty much... I'm guessing Equinox is going to be very thankful for that, because it just makes it a bit easier for them to catch up before the time runs out. But they're still going to have to do it, of course. They still have a goal to catch up on, and time is still ticking away. And Genesis are still on the offense here.
It would be such a tilting loss for Genesis, being up most of the game and then giving it up in the final few minutes.
Oh my god.
Ooh, this still might be it.
Oh no, Chrome does not even get the opportunity to shoot there. As Classics snatches it away from him. Close call in front of the orange goal. Chrome with a pass over to Corrupt the G. He can't quite pick up on it. Sad Jr. going to try to put it back up front, but can't quite do it. Gets blocked in the midfield by Lethamir. 30 seconds still remaining. Genesis trying to make sure that no offense is going to come out from Equinox in those final precious few seconds. Classics with a pass into the center field. Lethamir misses his opportunity, and this touch by Sad Jr. might be so vital. It doesn't quite go in, bounces up just a tad bit too early and hits the crossbar. What a chance for Equinox to tie things up, take it to overtime. Corrupted G with potentially the final chance to push the ball forward and make something happen here. Sad Jr., Corrupted G waiting in the air, puts it against the backboard, and that is going to be the liberating strike for Genesis. And they take game number 3. They won't have to reverse sweep.
Yeah, but still, that was a scary moment in the final seconds. Equinox almost stealing that goal, but still Genesis held strong. And at the beginning of this game, it seemed like Genesis had just figured out Equinox, but as the game progressed, Equinox started to fight right back. So Genesis, they get the win here, but still they need to continue to fight. This game 4 in a best of 7. This one, a critical game. This could put Equinox on match point, or we'll see the series tied up at 2 apiece.
Absolutely. Very, very important match here for Genesis. Let's see if they can bring it to the table in game number 4. 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get this party started. And right off the bat, Zane Jackie pushing it forward. We're looking for the back pass onto Lethamir, as they are preventing Equinox from getting out of their own half early on. But Corrupted G does ultimately break through, misses the follow-up off of the wall hit. Chrome is there for the save. Pass it into the center of the field, keeps the play going. Bounce off of the wall, midfield. Zane Jackie is going to go up into the air for this one. Pace of the game, very, very high. We haven't seen any shots, but the ball has been on a pretty high speed. Chrome misses the touch there. He can be lucky that that ball bounced at that exact spot.
Oh, Sad missing his opportunity there. That was a good setup.
Yep, could have been very, very... it was very, very dangerous for Genesis, but ultimately not capitalized on by Equinox. Sad Jr. in a prime opportunity to score there. Corrupted G. Oh, missed clear coming in from Zane Jackie. Sad Jr. too far behind, though, to really make anything out of that. Crumb blows up Lethamir. And Sad Jr. just drawing circles in the corner. Now out of boost. Still manages to get the ball past Lethamir. Corrupted G with a wide shot off of the backboard. Tries to follow it up on his own, but can't quite get the angle on that. And Equinox They're already a lot more present in this game than they were in the last.
Yeah, this is chaos in front of the net for Genesis right now. But now a counterattack. This is a 2v1 Classics. He's trying to get that demo. That was enough. Classics just trying to put himself in a position where he can body the goalie. Lethamyr saw that and just was able to let it slide right in. Excellent 2 versus 1 play by Genesis, and they take the early lead.
So all this pressure early on from Equinox, and it is Genesis who score first. That is going to be a major roadblock in the train that has been Equinox so far. And Genesis are going to be looking to pick up a lot of momentum from this situation. Let's see if they can carry it on through. Nearing the 3-minute mark, just 1 goal scored so far. Corrupted G can't get the ball past Lethamyr. Gonna bounce off of the wall back into the center where Chrome tries to pass it over. Gets intercepted by Zanejaki. Classics using the wall to pass the ball to himself. It's out of boost now, though. It's going to have to pass it to a teammate. Nobody there, unfortunately, though. So Sad Jr. gets the opportunity for a wide clear. Chrome popping the ball up into the air. Dangerous decision there. Zanejaki gets a shot, and Corrupted G has to make a backward save. They got away from that one with a blue eye. Halftime now has passed. And Classics can't quite retain control of the ball in the corner. Back passes it to his own half of the field. Lethamyr picks up on it. Chrome applying as much pressure as possible. Sad Jr. on the side of the field trying to center it. They're playing to the center, but Chrome prevents Lethamyr from going for the ball. But Classics are already following it up. They are keeping the pressure upright to their best of their ability. Sad Jr. with an empty tank trying to follow that ball up as far as he can possibly go. But ultimately has to succumb. Great pass indeed. Demolition. Lethamyr gets taken out in the corner. And that shot that Genesis got was not capitalized on. But they are still keeping this play going. Lethamyr with a huge opportunity. Can't put it on net. Puts it against the backboard. And Genesis are still looking for blood here.
Yes, keeping Equinox without a shot so far. This one might be the first shot registered. That one was the first shot that Equinox has gotten all game long. So Genesis just doing such a good job on assaulting this Equinox defense.
They're still only up 1 goal though, and
another 2v1. Oh, it looked like Zane had no boost to chase that down.
1 minute still remaining. 1 goal in the lead for Genesis here, and everyone who has watched a moderate amount of Rocket League knows how quickly this can change, but Classic says no. We want this extra security.
Yeah, and that was the situation. Corrupted G a little bit weirded out by Sad's approach. Corrupted G didn't get the play he wanted to in the corner, and Classics just takes advantage of the confusion and extends the lead for Genesis to 2.
Yep, and 50 seconds from the end of the game. That might just be what Genesis need to tie things down. But what a close call there for Equinox. Inside of the crossbar, but back out onto the ground. We've all been there. Hurts every time. This one's very, very important, but Sad Jr. misses the shot. Oh my goodness, another huge chance for Equinox. And again, they aren't capitalizing on it. They're starting to make mistakes.
Yeah, Corrupted G and Sad both took a line on that ball, and both of them missed.
Oh my goodness, 7 seconds still remaining on this match. This one's going to go to Genesis. They are going to tie up the series. And we are starting to see cracks in the team of Equinox.
Yeah, I was expecting this to be a very close series. These two teams so close to one another in skill. Genesis, they seem to just have figured out Equinox. They shut him down almost completely. Only 2 shots for Equinox all game long, and Genesis just time after time keeping the pressure on. However, Equinox did have some counterattack opportunities. There was a pass into the middle for Sad where he narrowly missed. That was a great scoring chance. We saw that last play where Corrupted G and Sad were trying to read the ball off the ceiling, and they narrowly missed that one. So sometimes, you know, we saw some plays where we would normally expect a team to put those in the back of the net, but Equinox just came up short. Now we're all tied up at 2 apiece in this best of 7.
Absolutely, and whoever wins this one will have the match point on their side. Sad Jr. very, very quickly pinching it off the defense. It hits the crossbar, and quick counter attempt coming in from Classics. Wide clear. Sad Jr. clears it straight back. Starting to see a pattern here. The start of any game between those two teams tends to be very, very fulminant and very, very spectacular, and then things die down as both teams find their footings, which seems to have happened now. No goals scored this time, though. You see Sad Jr. fail to pick up on that pass from Chrome. Classics playing a nice interception there, playing nice disruption. The pace of the game still so very fast. Everyone pretty much at all times blowing full boost, trying to get around on the field, position themselves for a good play. Zane Jackie. Corrupted G trying to cut off Zane Jackie's path there. Forces him towards Chrome, and Chrome then can snatch the ball off of him. Sad Jr. with a very good pass over to Chrome. Left him really the only one back home. Manages to jump upwards and make the save. Corrupted G with a bounce against the corner. Sad Jr. once more misses a shot. What is wrong with Sad Jr. right now? This is the third shot that we have seen him miss.
Maybe it's just nerves.
Could be. Certainly is something, because usually he gets shots like this. And it would have been such a great opportunity to score. But ultimately not happening just yet. Chrome with the save, but Lethamyr follows it up for the 1-0.
And this one, kudos to Classics following that one up, really putting the pressure on. And then it looks like he also got a bump on Sad Jr. It was kind of hard to tell from the angle I'm looking at, but Classics just paving the way for Lethamyr to put this first one on the board.
Oh boy, poor Sad Jr. First he misses a shot, and then he gets bumped. Feels bad, man. Still a great player, though. He has more than enough time in this match to show what he's made of. 3 minutes still remaining. Corrupted Gene Classic flashing for the ball. Corrupted Seed setting it up for Chrome. A little bit too far, though. That's going to allow Lethamyr to 1v1 against Sad Jr. here. And that was just textbook.
Yeah, and if you check the leaderboards in 1v1, Lethamyr's name is up there, and he's showing why. Look at that play, getting around, reading Sad Jr. creeping in towards the middle, and he just puts it to the far post. Heads up play by Lethamyr. That was a fantastic shot.
And it extends Genesis's lead here, 2-0. Might as well have been a reverse sweeps if they end up winning this. Just 3 games in a row. Certainly looking very, very strong for them. And Equinox, it's just looks like there hasn't been any wind in their sails ever since they started losing their first match, their first game against Genesis. We've seen mistakes, we've seen miscommunication. Their defense, while still strong, has not been quite as impenetrable as in those games where they really shut Genesis out. They still have a match to find their bearings, but it's not looking good right now.
Classics having a fantastic game so far. He set up the previous goal and now just scoring a goal of his own. The pressure again for Genesis just continues to add up. Boost continues to run out for Equinox, and the scoreline continues to grow for Genesis.
It certainly does. 3-0. I think that's the biggest margin we've seen. Scratch that. 4-0. Genesis is running away with it.
Now Lethamyr, again, looking like one of these 1v1 plays. Sees Chrome cheating up. Chrome was a little too far out of net. Generally, you see a player stay a little bit further back in net so that he can react to shots like that. So, not the greatest positioning from Chrome. Lethamyr making him pay.
Yep, certainly does. 2 minutes left to play. 4 goals to catch up on. Almost a fifth, but Chrome saves that one. And the Equinox have just found themselves under constant pressure in this game, unable to make any moves of their own. And once more, an important clear is missed. Lethamyr, they can be lucky. They are lucky that Lethamyr was not in a good position to angle that shot, or that would have been another goal. And the 5-0.
Yeah, pretty big whiff there. Not what we've seen from Equinox in these previous series, but Genesis just has Equinox's number right now.
Yeah, certainly do. Wide cross-map shot. Sad Jr. going to carry that off towards the ceiling. St. Jackie gets the ball bounced over him. Will not let a 1v1 happen, though. Time is just very, very quickly running out for Equinox. This is certainly looking like it's going to be match point for Genesis in the next match. 1 minute still remaining. Classic cleaning the ball off of the wall. Chrome finally gets Equinox on the board.
Yeah, and Classics had a set of questionable hits here. He hit the one out to Sad Jr. in the first place and then cleared it right back out again for the other team, allowing Chrome to get that shot on net. So Classics, his defensive touches have been a little lacking, especially right there.
So 50 seconds remaining. Can they score 3 in 50? That would certainly be a sensation. I personally doubt it, but never say never. Oh, good bump here, and that's going to be number 2.
And it's still too little too late, I believe, for Equinox. Classics, again, didn't get the greatest hit. Sad Jr. just punts him right out of the way, and Lethamyr, he was just stuck in net, not in a great spot to make the save. So this defense looking a little ugly for Genesis in the final minute of this game.
Yep. Who knows? Scoring 2 in 30, that is definitely possible, but they're going to have to hurry up about it. And with that demolition and that stop from Chrome and that additional goal from Zane Jackie, this is definitely the end of it.
Yeah, that's going to spell the end. And now Genesis is going to get out to the lead. Sad tried to get that clear, but Zane just shut him down, got that dunk right over him. A 3-goal lead, not much time left on the clock. Genesis, especially Lethamyr, was just nasty this game. Lethamyr with that 1v1 play, the off the wall, the shot, really just standing out. And Zane Jackie, this is a pretty standard 1v1 play as well. You see the defender in net, Zane is going to go and jump off the wall and
oh my god,
left right into that ball, sneaking it under the crossbar. Genesis just ran away with game number 5.
Yeah, he wants some of that spotlight too. Well, Lethamyr this game so far, but Zane Jackie, he wants some flashy goals as well. And we're seeing another one here by Corrupted G. I think at this point they're just messing around.
Looks like an all-star game right now.
Yeah.
All offense, no defense. Corrupted G just sneaking that one by. But still, a little bit too late.
Yeah, probably. 8 seconds for 3. That ain't gonna happen. It looks like both teams are not really, let's say, putting their all into the final few seconds of this game. But that just means that Genesis will have the match point after losing the first 2 games and coming back in spectacular fashion. And they've looked pretty dominant in all the games that they've won so far.
Certainly. In the beginning of the series, we just saw out of this world defense from Equinox, and it's showing that, you know, something that they just couldn't keep up. And it was pretty incredible while it lasted, but Genesis, they have just kept up that pressure. Look at the amount of shots that they're putting in. Classics, 6 shots of his own. Lethamyr shooting 100%, and very quality goals on Lethamyr's part as well this game. Zane Jackie getting a pair himself. So Genesis just coming out on top, and now they have a chance to close this out. This is game 6, 3-2 in favor of Genesis. If they win this one, they are the monthly champions here in this Astra $1,000 tournament.
Absolutely. Moment of truth here for Genesis. Can they make it happen? Do a reverse sweep without even having to do a reverse sweep. 5 minutes on the clock. Game number 6. Let's get this party started on the field. Specifically the man field. 10 seconds in. Genesis already on full offense. Lethamyr playing it back into the corner, spending all of his boost to get it centered. A little too wide though, and that one just passes the goal line without even coming down in front of a net. 30 seconds played, and Genesis have been in control so far. So that slump that Equinox have found themselves in ever since Genesis started winning, at least so far, shows no signs of breaking up anytime soon. We do see a clear finally come out of Equinox. It's going to alleviate some of the pressure that Genesis has built up so far. The question is, can they really make anything out of this? They need a good play, and they need it soon.
This is tournament point for them. Equinox need to win this one, force Game 7 and stay alive. But to this point, their offense has not been up to snuff, and their defense has really started to cool off.
Out to the corner, Lethemir pops it up into the air. Corrupted G off of the wall. Centers it, but Zane Jackie was waiting for that. Off the backboard already. Sad Jr. with an opportunity here. Lethemir! Fantastically played. Goes for the block. And cuts off the shot. Masterfully. Very well read there in that situation. And the bounce against the wall from Corrupted G. Ball goes back into the corner. Pushed there by Classics. So much pressure put up by Genesis so far. But no ball actually passing the goal line. Can they turn this into anything? Corrupted G cutting off that angle. And once more, a scoring opportunity has been thwarted. The tension is running incredibly, incredibly high in this match.
Yeah, and that
Lethemir!
Oh! Chrome bumped Corrupted G here in the corner. If you look, watch Chrome. He's coming in, boom, accidentally hits Corrupted G, and that sets Lethemir up for a wide open net. That mistake is costly for Equinox.
Yep, certainly is, because now they find themselves down 1 goal in a very low-scoring game so far, and a low-pace game so far. And if they turn up the pace too much, they always run risk of leaving their net open for additional goals. Definitely not the situation you want to be in if you are already running danger of getting thrown out.
What?
But Corrupted G, with a grenade of a shot, ties things up.
How did he get
Oh
this much
my
power?
God.
Look at that. Just touches it right by Lethemir. That was a nasty redirect by Corrupted G to even up the scoreline.
Wow, okay, so that lead did not persist for long on the side of Genesis. And we are back to square one in game number 6. Tensions remain high between both these teams. You can really see both of them are giving it their all. And both of them are fighting hard for the victory in this one. Off the center of the field, Chrome clears it back over. Classics of the wall. Gets it clear to the side. The pass over to Zane Jackie. Corrupted G. Zane Jackie's going to intercept that ball. Center it. But Classics in the midfield. You're too far away to get in on that play. Sad Jr. looking to create an offense for Equinox, which is something they have been lacking ever since Genesis started winning. But this is promising. Unfortunately, Sad Jr. can't rotate back in time to take part in this play. And we see Zane Jackie flicking it up into the air. Sad Jr. clears it back over straight onto Lethemir. Corrupted G. Deflecting it off to the side. Lethemir with a center ball straight onto Chrome. And Zane Jackie wants in on this as well. Down the corner, Lethemir. Wide up in the air. Corrupted G prevents that ball from bouncing off of the backboard. Very important touch right there. Classics. Getting it past one, but Chrome gets the shot. Classics was on the goal line and saved it.
Genesis just continuing to blast the ball high, making Equinox use their boost to try to go and deny that backboard hit. It's been doing a good job of allowing them to stay on offense for a very long time. But still, they haven't been able to get past the defense. Almost there.
Demolition. Hit the goalpost. Chrome getting in on that, preventing the shot from coming in. Zane Jackie finds a wall. That is the chance that Corrupted G has been looking for, but Lethemir pops it up into the air, makes it bounce off of the backboard.
And
what an
with
effort.
Zero boost. He had to time that backflip perfectly to get it high enough. That, I cannot overstate how good of a save that was from Lethemir.
20 seconds to remaining. We are at a 1-1 scoreline here. It states that way. We're going to go to overtime, and the golden goal will decide over Equinox's fate. Will they take it to Game 7, to an all-deciding final game in this set? Or will Genesis complete their premature reverse sweep, win 4 games in a row to take the final? If this ball touches the ground, it is a golden goal time, but Sad Jr. wants to get the buzzer beater. Here comes Zane Jackie. Chrome with a shot, and they get it! The buzzer beater! They tie things up!
Rob G keeping Equinox alive. Look at that shot right underneath the crossbar. Classics was out of position. Didn't think there was going to be some blistering shot coming on target. What a critical clutch play from Rob G himself.
We are going to Game 7 after such a close Game 6 in this best of 7 series. Unbelievable stuff. I'm very happy to see this.
That was an incredible end to that game. Chrome not giving up. That is why you play until the ball hits the ground. When the clock hits 0, you never know what's going to happen. And that was just such a blast from Chrome. He really took everything he had and put it into that shot. If they win this series, if Equinox takes this down, somebody needs to buy Chrome a drink.
That's true. That is definitely true. A round of drinks from the entire team.
Or a birthday cake or something. I don't know.
Birthday cake. With writing on
Or
it.
just
Thanks
a
for that
normal
6
cake.
shot.
It doesn't need to be a birthday cake.
Yeah, just write something on it. Thanks for that 6 shot. Or just give a cake over to Genesis and say, sorry you lost. Either way. Which way is it going to go? We're going to find out in game number 7. This is what it all comes down to.
Absolutely. Who's going to take home the lion's share of the $1,000 prize pool? Their long tournament journey all coming down to this one game.
Absolutely. We are 30 seconds in. The party has already started. Good. From Zanejaki avoided the bump. Everyone very hesitant to go for that ball there. You can definitely see the nerves on both teams in this situation. Chrome just driving past that ball. Sad Jr. Didn't want to pass that back. Wanted to keep the offense going. Zanejaki now has his hands on the ball, though. And Chrome cuts off the angle for the shot. Bounces off of the ball.
It was a good idea by Zanejaki. I think he was trying to get that out into the middle for Classics, but he just couldn't get it over enough.
Another shot. Hits the backboard. Lethamir, a little too wide on the angle. But good attempt regardless. And Genesis just going to keep up the offense that they have known to keep up in the previous games. Not allow Equinox to gain too much of a footing in this game. Chrome off of the wall. Corrupted G! Nicely picked up on that pass. Classics can save that. On the goal line. Oh my goodness! Zanejaki flying away from that. And Classics, he can clear that out just in time. But another sticky situation. Corrupted G just barreling past the ball. Zanejaki is now the one to be in the goal. Lethamir is going to try to carry it on through to the blue side of the field to keep the offense going.
Oh, this is
and that is a good shot from Classics. Hits the crossbar. Follow-up shot from Lethamir. And once more, it is he who scores.
Yeah, this one, a great chance for Classics to put it in. He puts it high, but Lethamir does not make the same mistake. And it looks like a DC from Chrome.
Oh, no.
I've seen this happen before earlier on Dapper's stream. So perhaps Chrome just having consistent internet issues.
Oh, not in a match like this.
Unfortunate.
That is just so heartbreaking. Both these teams have played their hearts out to get to this point. I really, really hope it's not decided by a DC at this point.
That would be unfortunate, but you know, you just have to play the game in this situation.
Absolutely. Well, at least they are already down a goal. At least they are not in the lead and are losing it thanks to the 2v3 situation, but it's definitely not going to look pretty. Corrupted G going to save that shot here. Hopefully Chrome can get back into this as fast as humanly possible, but Zanejaki finds the opening and puts it in for the 2-0.
Yeah, and this is going to just be a struggle.
Good bump.
That bump coming in on Corrupted G by Classics is going to open up the net. Not much boost for Sad Jr. to work with, and they're playing 2-on-3, so quite difficult. And you can see Zanejaki actually subbing out, allowing a 2v2 until Chrome can get back in the lobby.
Interesting. Very, very, very good sportsmanship here. Just played by Genesis. We are going to see this game continue as a 2v2 until Chrome can get back. A little unorthodox, but it works.
That's a gentleman's play there by Zane Jackie.
Absolutely. 2 goals to catch up on for Equinox, and now that they are both on equal footing again, it is a thing of possibility. Sad Jr. and Corrupted G. Let's see what they can take here, bring to the table here. And suddenly there's so much space on the field. Let's see what they can make out of it. Corrupted G attempts to pass over to Sad Jr. Can't quite land it though. Classics is a wide shot. That's an empty net.
Yeah, and this was an excellent play by Classics, getting that over to Zane Jackie, beating out that final defender, and Leth just had a wide open net.
And indeed, more good sportsmanship shown here in the chat, but it looks like in the 2v2 team, oh, and Sad Jr. sneaks one in after a kickoff.
Still not over yet. 2v2s, goals can happen very quickly, especially off kickoffs. Classics going for the corner boost instead of cheating up. That allows Sad, who decided to cheat, to have a free shot on net, taking advantage of it.
And Corrupted G is going to get to that ball earlier, and Lethemir positioning himself for the block, has to go into reverse gear. Leaves the ball there and decides to bait in Sad Jr. Sad Jr. with a pass over to Corrupted G into the center, puts it a little too high. Sad Jr. looking for the follow-up, but Corrupted G cannot get to the ball before Lethemir can. And now we're seeing the 1 minute mark. And we're seeing Equinox, Sad Jr. and Corrupted G putting up so much pressure. Lethemir with a good save prevents that extra goal that they need. Lethemir stopping the ball in front of his own goal, blocking the shot for Sad Jr. That was so well played. They are not going to let this ball go in.
That was some stellar defense by Genesis, keeping that one out.
And Lethemir with another shot. Corrupted G is going to prevent this one from coming in. 30 seconds still remaining in this 2v2 surprise final. Corrupted G putting it up front off of the backboard. Can't quite make the follow-up by himself. Lethemir is going to wait for Sad Jr. to come in, but he's not even going to come in. He's going to rotate back and wait for them to make the first move. 15 seconds still remaining. 2 goals still to score. This is looking like it is going to be a Genesis victory. In the Astronauts Monthly 3v3 Rocket League tournament, they will take home the lion's share of the $1,000 prize pool. What a great match it has been. We've gone to all 7 games. We have seen a surprise 2v2, but in the end, Genesis prevail.
Yeah, Genesis coming out on top in this one. It's unfortunate that we saw that DC, but even in that 2v2, very, very close. And Chrome, it's a shame that he DC'd, but he had quite the shot in Game 6 to even force Game 7. It seemed like after the first 2 losses, Genesis was going to struggle in the series, but in Game 3, they just came alive, especially Lethemir. Lethemir, the MVP for Genesis in this series. He played so well.
Absolutely did, and that means our monthly champions for this Astronauts tournament are Genesis. They'll be taking home $750 from the prize pool. Of course, Equinox coming in second will still get the rest of that money, so both teams will probably be walking home happy. But of course, Genesis also with that seeding advantage for the RLCS, for the upcoming RLCS qualifiers. This victory has surely not gone unnoticed.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to help their case, but even with Equinox, it's going to be a tough call to decide who's better with that Game 7, you know, the DC coming in. So that's going to be a tough one to try to sort through if you're seeding these teams. But overall, it was just fantastic Rocket League that these guys played. Even Fibian and Hollywood Hammers in the previous series as well. They all played fantastic Rocket League. So congratulations to Genesis for taking this one down.
Absolutely. GG's to everyone involved. Congratulations to Genesis and to Equinox for taking home money, and thank you for everyone who participated. Also, thank you to Astronauts for sponsoring this tournament, these monthly tournaments. Great prize money, $1,000. Great teams every month. It is a showcase of NA to high-level Rocket League. Support Beyond Entertainment and Astro. Save 5% at astrogaming.com. by clicking the link below the stream before your next purchase. Want to buy yourself one of those sweet Astro A10 gaming headsets? They are really the bee's knees. You will not regret your purchase. And sure what is going on right now in the